the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out?
Who did let the trolls out?
Who let the trolls out?
Why is this quieter today?
Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out? A grown man tied that with his whole chest. Somebody's father is.
Did I get my 5080 yet? No, because my monitor hasn't returned because it's lost in transit. They're like, you gotta wait a month. I have to wait a month before they give me my money back. So I can't afford it right now. I don't remember how much they cost. Funky got them for me. But they airdrop Area 2s.
Performance from a person with a bedtime. That's a whole biography of choices. Somebody loved this man and look what happened.
We actually have Crusader statues coming in, but they just haven't arrived yet. It's been over a month.
Oh, yeah, I should check on that.
Yeah, you should.
I checked on it a while ago.
I just heard, man. I won't air your grievances on the live. I'm sorry I'm dancing as I'm talking about this. But no, our sympathies go out with you. It was ages ago. As soon as like the song's ending, I'm like, oh, I remembered it. There's one more thing I forgot to do. But it is what it is. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day. Make sure you smash the like button, share the live, do all the things that you need to do. Here it is. Abby, I'm going to send you a link. That's actually the link that should be down below. Right now, we have the wrong one down.
Where'd you send it to me?
I said I'm going to. It's going to be on Facebook.
I can't. I'm on your Facebook.
Well, I'll just send it to myself then on Facebook. Or I'll just send it to you, and then you just go on my Facebook and read the chat with you. Right?
No, your page is going to have to...
What?
Your page is going to have to make a message to me. Not you.
I just sent the message to you on Facebook. Just go on Facebook and click Abby Steele.
It won't let me switch because I'm on your Facebook.
Which Facebook?
Your page.
Click the top right corner and switch to John J. Steele. That Facebook.
It will mess up the live.
Well, no, just open a new tab. Oh.
No, it doesn't let me do that.
I'm going to come do it. I got it.
Last time it messed everything up.
Facebook. Sign in. Anyways, you know what to do from here. She's got one job, ladies and gentlemen. One job. It's time to get a new secretary. Time to get a new one. This.
But if it messed it up, you would have blamed me.
You just open a new browser. You go on Facebook on that one. Oh my God.
What?
Technically she has two. Two what? Bombleclat. Dang, I already got the trolls going. Not yet, but I have a feeling today. My goodness, that went right down the wrong too. I am the worst live stream on the internet, and I'm striving to be the best.
Me another one.
What do you mean?
It didn't come through. There you were. Oh.
John, the only streamer that I watched online like live. I'll take it. I don't know why. I can't even stop coughing in your ear. We got technical problems all the time.
Maybe.
John, stop cutting your own hair. Oh. My hair looks great.
Okay.
What are you talking about? What are you talking? It looks great. What's a really bad cuss word? Don't say that, dude. What did I say? It's a disgusting word. What word did I say? Everybody tell me I said a disgusting word. What did I say? What did I say?
I don't know what you said.
What did I say? John, do not say that word on live again. I'll pull up Bombleclat.
Well, you shouldn't say it.
That's the word? What happened?
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Everybody's getting mad at me. I don't even know what's going on. Stop saying it. Why? What is going on? It's a really bad Jamaican cuss word. Okay. I totally having a stroke here. Surely you have to be trolling me. Surely you have to be trolling me. That has to be what's going on. Islamic Apex, my friend, you have a permanent ban from here forever. You are not welcome on this channel. I thought I made that clear to you last time you tried to come up. It's like the F word, is it? I don't know that word until now. And neither did I. I have no clue what's going on with that. Apparently I said a big no word. Everybody got real mad at me. It's like that time I called somebody a monkey. And I had no idea what was going on. So now bend your knees. Wow. You're so edgy. That's what it is. It's like okay. Well, whatever you guys say. Whatever you guys say, man. Whatever you say. Turn Abby's down just a little bit. You're just catching a lot of noise. A lot of noise. All right, guys, make sure you smash the like button, sharing live, doing the things you need to do. Let's go do a quick prayer, and then we're going to get started. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this blessings. Thank you for the things that you have given. Walk with us. Be present with us today. Give us good conversations. If we're not to have good conversations, give us the spirit to find and strike down the bad ones. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. God is good. We are not. All right, guys, today's topic is the same topic as it usually is convince me to stop worshiping Jesus, win a taco. What was I going to say? I was going to say something completely. Brain no worky today. Brain no worky. 20,000 likes on TikTok before we start going, and at least $50 on YouTube before we start going. Once we hit those two goals, we will start taking up guests. We already had a couple people jump into the queue, although one person is not allowed, and they know that. They know that. Source, you're also permanently banned from this channel.
Who's that?
That's the douchebag. And I also blocked you. So what'd you do? You made a new account? Or am I on my old account? My backup account? Did I block you on the backup one? I'm not too sure. Begging for pennies. No, we're not begging for pennies. Begging for dollars. At least get it right. Oh, my
pennies
goodness.
were discontinued in Canada.
Pennies were discontinued. I had a whole container of pennies too. Did I see did you see Little John's debate with KD? I watched a little bit of it and then I left because it's a really stupid debate. It's really stupid. And the fact that people are even treating it as a remotely serious thing is pretty gross. And I'm not going to contribute to that. Like there's no reason we should have to contribute to that level of stupidity for a debate. In all honesty, at this point, I like with a lot of Muslims, I'm just like, let them talk. Just let them be. They're going to talk themselves into a grave. Like right now, there's a trend on Twitter going F Islam. Seriously, people are posting on Twitter right now, back to back, F Islam, F Islam, F Islam, F Islam. People are like, I heard you get 1,000 likes if you say F Islam. And it's just boom, boom, boom. I don't know what's going on with Twitter right now. Like the people are being woke up. They're seeing like it's not it's a pretty gross culture. Pretty gross culture. Did I see Dustin Poirier's arrest video? I heard vaguely about it. I have no clue what's going on. I never saw it. I don't know what's going on with it. Toss a coin to your grifter.
Toss a coin to your grifter.
That one sip, man, just did me in. It's just $2 a day can feed these poor streamers in the arms of an angel.
Toss a coin to your grifter. John needs to pay his bills.
It's really sad.
When a humble sage
Convince me to stop breathing. Convince me not to drive sober. What? What happened? What happened with Poirier?
I think he did something while under the influence. I think he's having some troubles with alcohol. He made a statement.
I think I turned you down too much. Say that again.
He made a statement about alcohol use and that he needed some help, and it's been hard since he stopped fighting.
He quit fighting?
I don't know what he did. Yeah, he retired.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, I don't think he did anything crazy.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, taking a career in mixed martial arts is probably one of the worst career choices you'll ever make in your life. One of the worst career choices you'll ever make in your life. You have to do it because you want to do it, because you want to fight, because you love fighting, you love the game. That's got to be the reason you do it. If for any other reason, don't do it. Because even if you get to the point where you're like at the top and you make a bunch of money, you got to use that money to go invest into other things, because like your career ends before you're 40 and you still have another 40 years of life left if you live a healthy life. Like you're only halfway through your life and you're pretty beat up, and like you're going to lose the fame, and you're going to have to go and try to use that money in other places, like try to still be relevant, try to find another way to make income. And that money doesn't last forever, man, especially when these guys are making that kind of bank and they're out there spending it. They're out there spending it on crazy things. One of the things I think that a lot of them are doing well, I think like Sean O'Malley's doing really well, is he's really getting into like the social media world. So even when his career is done, he'll still have a social media platform. Mighty Mouse did the same thing, social media world. Even when his career is done, he's got a social media platform. He's still doing things. He's still making content. He's still participating in jiu-jitsu. He's still relevant, and he's still making income through that means. But there are some people out there, man, you think about it, like Don Fryer, for example, and this is before the UFC. It was really big though, but Don Fryer is like the biggest guy ever. And like, he's got like a normal house, living a normal life. I don't even know how he makes an income, but he's not out there. Not out there just like making bank, like, and not to mention, to even make bank in the UFC, you have to make a top 10, the bare minimum. And that's not even bank. That's just bank. And to make bank, you got to take world champion. And that's such a hard thing to do. Like there's so many people, and like, I don't think people realize how many fighters there are signed up in the UFC. Like our coach, Jason, was a member of the UFC for years and never got a fight. He was on their list of calls. One of his friends, who was also on one of the list of calls. Yeah, you're right. Just a habit.
Continue.
Yeah, anyways. One of his friends who was also on a list of calls actually got a call one day and actually ended up going to the UFC because he's just the fighter stepped out, he got the call, he went in, he won, and he actually ended up going and having a career. Yeah, don't do it, man. Now you see that. You see Dustin Poirier, world champion. Now after fighting, having a hard time. Who knows why though? Who knows why? I'm just saying. What are we at, guys? 7,000 likes. Keep cracking. We need your guys' help. But we've had some really low views as of late. I guess we're dying off. It's the end of the channel. It's the end of the channel.
Or it's the beginning of summer.
It's the end of the channel. We're done, guys. We're done. That's all right. If we're done, we'll just go off to other things. You are your own brand. Yeah. Press that like button. Press the like button. Thank you. Muhammad had zero reading comprehension, so he took it literally when he heard it. No, I don't think that's true. We had a good run. Yeah. Already, I just joined you. It's done, guys. It's done. John says after making 3K, it happened once. It's not like it's a common occurrence. That's the thing about this too, is that sometimes there are days where you make like a big bank and you're like, hey, yeah, awesome. And then there's times where you don't make bank, and then so you got to balance it out. It's what you call a nest fund. Most of that stuff goes in the nest fund for the days when you don't make that bank. Money, please. I got you, bro.
Money.
Although we've been pretty consistently hitting our goals, so I got to say thank you guys for that. But I just have that constant fear. Is shorts open? No, Abby. Actually, I forgot to tell you that. You want to open up the shorts?
Well,
they're sending us out to the
Head on over there, guys.
into the trenches with no protection.
Need a little John to come up and try to tell a story again.
Did you connect the thing?
No, that's my bad. This is how a D&D UFC channel that occasionally goofs around with apologetics. This is now. Sorry, yes. Yeah.
15 seconds of absolute hell. This is where good souls are. We're going to
Thank you.
Did you connect it?
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, head on over to the shorts chat, ladies and gentlemen. That's where sadness lives. I've thought about it. Yeah, we could do that. I'm thinking about making a John on Everything channel. A second channel where I just talk about whatever I want, however I want, for however long I want. I'd start it on TikTok and just do it there, just to see. What a dick thing to say.
Yeah, that's rude.
Wow.
Also not true.
You look 10 years older than the last time I saw you. Sleeping okay, bro? That's like layered insults. First of all, you spelled my name wrong. Hold on. Let's first, I got to give props because there's layered insults there. Layered insults. So I'm going to give you props for layering the insults. Let's go through it. First, you spelled my name wrong. 2, you said I look 10 years older. Right? That's crazy. Saying I look 45 is wild. Than the last time I saw you. And then saying, are you sleeping okay? When it's a notorious fact that everybody knows I have a terrible sleep condition. So no, I'm not. Like, just layered insults. Layered. Well, it wasn't meant to be an insult. I'm sorry.
Bro, how
it's
do you
fine.
say that?
It's fine. If your heart was good, I'll give grace. We'll give grace. It's
but maybe
fine.
don't say that to people.
That's lighting. The haircut is not as smooth as usual. What are you guys doing? What is up with you guys today? Why are you guys such dicks to me today? Huh? What did I do to you? Is it because I said the Asian swear word?
I don't think it's Asian.
John misses 99% of the chat, but sees one of the critiques.
That's how the brain works.
You look like you're 10 years old today. Don't thanks. Abby is carrying me today. Listen, I am actually pretty tired. I didn't get a good night's sleep. I think you look great for 40 years old, John. Appreciate you. Thank you. It's Jamaican.
Yeah.
Who's Jamaican? You're Jamaican me crazy, guys. You're a handsome man, John, not in the zit sense. Thank you. Thank you. You're also a handsome man. Congratulations for you putting your actual face in your profile picture. A lot of people don't do that. They do something like this. Who is this? They put a bear in the profile picture. They put a bear. Put your haircut up. I'm sorry, John, that haircut gotta go. Why not try that spiky style? Why don't you put your face in your profile picture there, Sammy? Why don't you do it? What are you scared of? What are you scared? What are you hiding there, Sammy? What are you hiding? Let's see what you actually look like, Sammy. Let's see. Huh? Up here critiquing my haircut. What does your haircut look? I bet you're bald. I bet you're balding, aren't you, Sammy? That's why you don't put your profile picture up. How are you going to do me like that? How are you going to do me that? Is this going to be a roast John line? Even the cripple puts his face online. Yeah. Yeah, it covers up most of it with the membership icon, which is great, but still. Got a bunch of neckbeards in the chat. You know, we might. I'm too ugly. That's why he's got a picture of a helicopter. Fair enough. I feel called out by proximity. You know what? Listen. You guys are all up here critiquing my haircut and critiquing the way I look and saying I look 10 years old today. I'm putting my face on the internet for everybody to see it. Y'all hide behind profile pictures and gamer tag names. We don't even know what your name is. Friggin' average user 75 with Jamoji or whatever it is. Y'all hiding your ugliness out here. Somebody saying I'm not a Christian for all this roasting I'm doing. I didn't talk about your looks. You said my haircut's got to go. You said my haircut's got a problem. What's wrong with my haircut if it's not the way it looks? Huh? You guys don't want it. I'll take all of you on it. Every one of you, all at once. I sent you my new house address. I think you're the one hiding the form from me. Form from me. Hiding from
me at this point.
Having a stroke. Insert funny joke here. Why insult me like this? I don't insult you like that. You know what? Everybody's catching strays. What is your profile picture? A freaking cat? Not even like, you didn't even draw like a proper cat. It's like, that's like an MS Paint cat that you just put up there, right? Oh, you're just like, oh, here's a creative little cat. I'm so edgy and so cool, right? That's what you're going to do for your profile. You couldn't even get like a real cat. Like, do you not even have a cat? Like, what's going on here? Everybody's going to get it today. You guys all started it. Look at you. Halo Master Chief. You're going to pick, like, listen, you got to pick a character because you're ugly, someone to represent of who you want to be. And you're going to pick the least, most charismatic character in all of Halo, in all of gamingdom. He's got like 7 lines for 300 games. That's who you're going to pick. A guy who walks out and goes, give them back their bomb. And that's like the whole thing that he says. So it just shows not only are you ugly, you have the range of like a houseplant. Of a houseplant, I say. You not only know my name, my wife, my friends with me on Instagram, and you seen what I look like, clown. Yeah, I know why you don't put your profile picture up. Trust me. Yeah, I got it. I figured it. I wouldn't do it either if I was you. What about me, John? I'm not allowed to insult you because you're black, which is an insult as it is.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get banned.
Oh my god. I'm big nose steel, crooked steel, dude. You're freaking the letter T. The letter T, bro. You're looking at the alphabet and you're like, that's the one. That's how everybody's going to know me. As the freaking letter T.
John, you better not talk bad about Green Halo guy who hurt Alien. We're going to have a problem.
John, you better get angry. We are Canadians, brother.
You cannot.
You cannot get angry. We are Canadian. I'm not angry. You all started roasting me. I'm just giving it back. John, would you insult me if I was a Jew? No, I would definitely not do that because I want to have a long, healthy life. Mods, unflesh John's vessel. Okay, so if you're God, unflesh your vessel. Why is that so loud today? You paid John $3,000 and he turned on you. Don't cast pearls before to swine. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. John's handsome, but in a douche way. Exactly. We actually have this theory. We have this theory in our house. The people just don't like me because I just have that look on my face that like just seems condescending. You just have that condescending look on your face, which usually means like you're attractive. But yeah, mods, return John to manual breathing. That never bothered me. That kind of stuff has never bothered me. We're at 18,000 likes, by the way. Get to work, guys. You're almost there. We're making me stronger. Finally, someone on the other side. Stay faithful. God bless. Thank you. John's handsome, but in an ugly way. There are actually people who are like that. They're so good looking that it's actually not good looking. Have you ever met those? They're so symmetrical. It's like uncanny. John, any % getting canceled speed run. Didn't expect the Jamaican swearing tech. I didn't know. 90% of me getting canceled is me just not knowing what's going on. On this episode of John crashes out. Yeah, well, that's pretty much every episode. Every episode's got one crash out at least. One crash out. Who cares? Worship whatever you want as long as it doesn't harm anyone. It's always that process. It's always do what you want and less. Do what you want but conditional. It's always that case. What if my worship entails hurting other people? How would you stop me? Huh? If we get enough people on my side. It's always the case. It's like you could believe whatever you want. Just don't tell me what to believe. Well, what if what I believe is to tell you what to believe? Then can I actually believe whatever I want? No, you put in conditionals on it. And then now you're telling me what to believe after you said, don't tell me what to believe. So you telling me not to tell you what to believe is you actually being a hypocrite because you're telling me to believe to not tell you what to believe. You see? You don't see how? John never knows when he's being racist. Well, actually, I do most of the time. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. The Jamaican word I didn't know and the monkey thing I didn't know. That's literally the motto of atheism. Do what thou wilt. Or Satanism, sorry. John is the type of man to give a paper cut at the poor and then pour rubbing alcohol on it. A little bit in me. Not gonna lie. It's a little bit of what's going on over here. Thank you. I do have great hair. I love my hair. Everybody always critiques my hair. Sometimes I get great compliments on it, and some people just roasting me on it. John is actually such a nice man. Shut your mouth. Added my profile picture to join the roast party.
You went through all that effort.
An error occurred. View is not a function. Please report. Something didn't work on my computer. Okay. You look like somebody who would text somebody after. You look like somebody who does sports. And this is the kind of sport. I'm going to say you're a jiu-jitsu person or a wrestler person or one in that category. And this is what you would do. You're the kind of person who would train with a woman and then text her after saying, it was really good training with you. That's you. That's what you look like.
Oof.
Yeah. You have such a beautiful wife for someone like you. You're not wrong. You're not. People are actually shocked to find out we're married. Sometimes they're shocked. We have some friends when they met us and they found out we were married. They were just like, "What? There's no way. There's no way."
Chat. If you truly want to see John crash out, spam compliments in the chat. Meaningful, heartfelt compliments.
Don't do that. Don't do that. God told me during training you'd be my wife.
Oh.
What are we at, guys? All right, 22,000 likes. We can start taking guests. We start taking guesses. We had a full queue of people, but they all left. We had like 4 or 5 in the queue. Yeah, now it's empty. These people got no patience, man. They got no patience. No patience. It's the thing. You click go live. They see you on the live. They see it. They want to scream at you right away, and then you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait, and they'll vanish because those first few people that all jump in the queue are all the gross people. Because they don't stick around. They just want to yell at you. John, you're a nice guy and good at what you do. Mods ban him. Mods ban him. Ban him, mods. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I am fine. I am 56.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, have you looked at the trees? They always use that on me, so I just thought it would work on you.
I'm sorry they used that on you.
I literally had a debate with Sabor, and that's actually what he said to me about approving Islam. He said, "Have you looked at the trees?"
Are you still worshiping Jesus now then?
Yeah.
Ah, hell.
Didn't work. Sorry, bro. Oh, he left. He left. He seemed like a nice guy, actually. He seemed kind of funny.
He did.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Christians, stop using that.
Yeah, no, don't use have you looked at the trees argument. It's one of the silliest arguments in the world. Have you looked at the trees? Have you seen the trees? Roast me, John. Yeah, sure. Your relationship's got a time limit, bro.
What?
Yeah, you're punching uphill. And your relationship's got a time limit, man. I'm guessing that you're the person that she chose as the safe option. Either that or it's your sister. One of the two. So it's like she came out of a bad relationship and then she saw you and she's like, this will be a safe option. He won't cheat on me. And now you're together and you got a time limit because as soon as like she gets over that, you're done. You're done. You're cooked. You're cooked. Bert, hello, how are you and how
Bert!
old? How are you? And just real quick,
How do you get online?
Hold on, Abby. How old are you? All right, man, let me bring you in. All right, man, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
I might have a shot between all the roasting and the lack of sleep you're getting today.
All right, hit me.
So, my whole thing is the way God is described just really seems incoherent to me, the omni properties. And I don't know if you consider omnibenevolence part of that, but I think that makes like a tetra-omni God instead of a tri-omni.
Omniscient.
So how do you feel?
Omniscient, omnipotent, and I'm forgetting the third one. Omniscient, omnipotent, and all loving.
Omnipresent.
No, yeah,
okay,
yeah, omnipresent. Sorry, yeah. So all loving, all knowledgeable, and all places.
So not all powerful.
All powerful. Well, okay, so all powerful, all knowledgeable, and all places. All powerful entails all loving. That's the. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I haven't actually heard that interpretation of that, so that's cool. So I guess really with those omni properties, the whole problem of evil just kind of kicks my butt whenever I try to make any sense of this.
Okay.
So like I'll do the meme, I guess. Look at the trees. I mean, you look out there and it's so crazy bad everywhere. I mean, there's obviously good. There's plenty of good.
Okay.
But I think the bad just so overweighs the good that it's hard to say that a loving God created a situation in order for us to thrive.
Okay, so where are you getting the standard of what is good and bad?
I mean, it's subjective for me. I don't think you agree with that, but I just consider good to be things that promote well-being and bad to be things that are a detriment to well-being.
Okay, so then why is your subjective standard a good measuring stick to disprove the existence of a being?
I don't think alone it is. I think it's a good place for me to start to build, say, like a moral framework, I suppose. And then when I measure my moral framework against what I see from, say, the morals in the Bible or the morals in other religions or other cultures in general, it doesn't seem to line up with an all well-wishing, benevolent creator.
Right, but that's your subjective perspective, right? You're saying I
Definitely.
subjectively think these things are wrong and good. God is doing things or allowing things that are wrong based off my subjective opinion. Therefore, he doesn't exist. I don't know how that follows, right?
It's incoherent. I mean, there's obviously many things that get me to that point. Specifically, the Christian God not being real, but the idea that
I don't think he
contradiction.
understood my objection.
Okay.
So you have a subjective thing, which means it's stance dependent. It's based off your stance, right? Your perspective. You look at the world and you say, based off my stance, I see too many evil things. Therefore, God doesn't exist. That doesn't logically follow. It just doesn't work. There's no logical issue or problem there, because you're measuring it based off your own opinion, right? And you're using that to say he doesn't exist.
I don't know what else I have to measure against. I mean, do you?
I don't use morality to measure the existence of something.
That's fair. That's a very fair point. But like I'm saying, I think there's more than just the moral argument that gets us to that gets me to I don't believe in God. Just like I'm sure there's more than one thing that makes you believe in God.
It's pretty much.
So this is just part of. This is part of what is your out of curiosity? What is your one thing?
Death and resurrection in Jesus Christ.
I mean, I like that topic too. We can go there.
Well, I know, because then I'm arguing the affirmative.
Okay, fair. I mean, I would posit directly the negative if that makes you feel any better, because I guess we're really not going to get anywhere on the moral front, so we need to change topics.
Well, my whole point is that with the problem of evil, you have to have an objective standard to say that, yeah, you can measure against God. Simply, like, he's not a politician, right? It's not like, oh, this politic does the things I don't like, therefore he doesn't exist. Same thing with God. You know, this God does things I don't like, therefore he's not all good. Well, your standard of good is, you're already admitting, is not objectively true. So,
I mean, no standard of good is objectively true, is it?
Well, I think there is an objective good. You're saying there is not an objective good, and I can use that non-objective good to disprove the existence of God.
I'll go with it. Sure. I don't see how God makes anything objective. God is a mind, isn't he?
Yeah, so if you want to go that route, then everything... What the heck, man? I'm not even sick. I just keep having this, like, hard to talk. Anyways, yeah, so then, yeah, if you want to go that route, everything is subjective because it's based off God's stance.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
You think
I think that's
is
the more reasonable... Yeah, I think that's the more reasonable stance to hold. Even in the faces of like really egregious things, it takes a mind to look at those and say this is good or bad. And even if you have like the mind of an all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing being that says this is bad, that's still just its subjective morals.
What? I mean, like, this pencil here, does it objectively exist?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, what I was saying is all things, if you want to do that route, only exist because of God's stance on it, right? So therefore, this would be subjective if you want to take the route that God is a mind, so therefore it's subjective.
Okay, I see. I generally disagree with that statement. Of course, there is mereology, the study of kind of like where things begin and end, sort of how we identify things. There's an argument you could make to say that the pen really doesn't exist, but we don't want to go there.
No, I don't think
that's more like the solipsism argument.
What I'm saying is that you're saying, well, morality in God's sense would also be subjective because it's based off his stance. I say, okay, fine, but then everything is subjective because everything that exists is based off God's stance. It simply exists because God wills it.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I was going to refuse that, but I don't see the flaw in your theology there. Obviously, I disagree because I don't believe in God, but I don't know how to speak against that. This is a wall I haven't encountered yet.
Based. I'll take that. I'm going to fall asleep standing up, man. I'm so out of it.
Hey, man, the hair's looking great today. Don't let them roast you.
Thank you. Well done. All right, man. Well, you got anything else for me?
I've been watching you for a while. I think you're very well put together dude. I like listening to you. I wish I had more prepared, but really the omnipotent, omnibenevolent kind of thing was the crux of where my conversation wanted to go. So
Okay.
I guess not, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks for being just like a cool dude. Have a good one.
For sure, dude. I'll see you again later.
Peace. I need a tray of tacos in the background.
Maybe
Too much, I
eventually.
think. We want to get a light that's a taco, like a
Like,
glow light,
when
a
a
neon
taco.
light, or something like that, or just a taco. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 20. I think I don't know if you remember me. I was the suffrage guy.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Dog, I'm so sorry. They still talk about it, and I'm so sorry. It's so mean.
Yeah, the suffrage guy. You know, I think about that once like once a day. It's all right. But you know what? You live and you learn.
You
so.
live and you learn.
But now we
appreciate
can
that.
recognize you.
Yeah.
We remember you.
Real quick, do you do jiu-jitsu at all? 'Cause I don't know if you have cauliflower ear. I think I noticed a little bit.
Hey, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I used to do jiu-jitsu back when I was in
Used to.
high school.
Used
Yeah,
to.
Get
back when I was in
back.
high school, so I know cauliflower ear when I see it.
You got to get back. Why'd you quit?
Yeah, I know. Why'd I quit? I just didn't like the group I was in. Fell out of passion with the guys, unfortunately.
Mm.
You have to go to a different gym.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm planning on it. But yeah.
When did you quit? Like you said, it was high school, so like gray belts.
I was a blue belt.
Oh, so not high school, adult.
Well, probably adult.
I mean,
16
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Yeah. Quit in blue belt. Blue belt blues. That's when most people quit. Is blue belt. All right,
Yep,
bro.
it's
No, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. Yeah. So I know Jackson and I argued about the existence of evil or whatever, and I think I got really stuck up on because the other guy argued the same thing essentially. And we both, him and I, both got stuck on the same thing of, well, what do you deem as evil, which I think is a great counter argument. So I'm gonna try to switch here and do the problem of non-existence. I don't know exactly how you say it. So for example, is divine hiddenness. There we go. It slipped my mind. Divine hiddenness. The problem is that, let's say we can use statistics to look at a country like, let's say, it's kind of extreme. I got a dog barking.
Oh, you're good.
We love dogs.
Let's say use a country like North Korea as an example, or we can say, okay, more likely than not, if you were born in a country like North Korea, you're most likely going to go your entire life without being exposed to Jesus and his teachings.
Mm-hmm.
And my problem with that is, I think a reasonable Christian, I don't know what the different denominations interpret, but that they would interpret Jesus as welcoming everyone into religion and being a very would love to have all people under his roof, right?
Yep.
So I have a problem with the whole scenario of the divine hiddenness, and to add on top of that too is the argument of non-resistant non-believers. I guess if there's nothing, because some people will argue that folks resist the teachings of Jesus, right? Hence why they're not accepted. But then I would argue, okay, I'm sure there are people out there that are non-resistant and non-believers.
Yeah, a non-resistant non-believer probably isn't going to go to hell.
Yeah, so my argument is, I mean, I would hope someone else wouldn't go to hell. My argument is that if we truly had a God that it was accepting of everyone, right? Why is he so hidden? Why is he hide?
I don't know.
Is there no interpretation at all.
There's lots of different understandings. Like for example, Ryan Mullins says, imagine that God didn't. He showed himself to everybody, and he's just constantly in the sky, just watching us. Imagine how your life would entail then. Would you actually be able to live the life that God actually wanted you to live? Were you trying to be a more virtuous person, or did you simply do it out of this fear of this giant eyeball staring at you? So that's like a possibility, but ultimately, I don't know. He's hidden.
Yeah, I think what you just mentioned can kind of be interpreted into the free will argument too, because I know that's a big counter argument to atheist ideas is the argument of free will. And I guess we can also jump to that too, since I don't think the divine hiddenness is going to be going anywhere. I don't think, you don't know, and that's perfectly fine. So you don't have to know anything. But so move on to free will then. My problem with free will, although I do find it very compelling and hard to argue against, is why would an all-powerful God need to give us free will? Why does he need work?
God doesn't need anything. Right? So the reason we have free will is because it's a higher good, and because God is the most good that you could possibly be, he's going to, in his nature, seek out the highest possible goods. And a being that freely chooses to be aligned with the highest possible good is a being that just has to do it, is better than a being that just has to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, surely my next thought to that would be, okay, well, if we had a all-powerful, all-knowing God, certainly he would know the consequences of free will, right?
Yeah.
So that would kind of, in my opinion, defeat or put into question the all-goodness of Christ or God. How? Yeah. So it would follow like this. This is how I would see it. Is okay. If free will, even if there's a tiny little possibility that free will could cause harm, or that'd be murder or whatever we deem harmful, I guess, then simply allowing that to exist.
Yes, you can.
Then,
I mean, if you want to sit, I can leave. You can talk to him. Here, I'll go get my own.
No,
coffee.
it's okay.
No, Abby doesn't want to do it.
So
you gotta debate my wife.
No, it's fine. It's just because the cat's on my lap. You can't see him, but you can see his tail. He just got here. Oh, there he goes. Now we get to sit in awkward silence until John comes back.
fair enough. I'm fine with that.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a pug.
John loves pugs. He's making pug noises now.
Yeah, they're not a breed of choice. They have their own problems. They're very prone to problems.
Yeah. Because of being bred for their appearance, right?
Yes, yeah, they're very.
You guys are supposed to be debating. My God.
What's your pug's name before you continue?
If it's not Smush, it's not a good name.
What's his name?
It's you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
John does.
Okay. Do you know Tyrion?
Yep.
Tyrion Lannister, yeah.
It's because he's small.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
All right, where were we?
Yeah, so we were arguing free will. You asked me why free will is bad. Or why the existence of free will contradicts an all-loving, all-good God. And I argued that free will brings the baggage of harm and suffering, so an all-good God would not allow such thing to exist, even though there may be more good than bad made out of free will. I think the existence of even a singular bad act, right? I mean, let's just say everyone was good, but one dude murdered another person. I think that right there would contradict that.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think so. I think a world that isn't a Teletubbies world where we can overcome things and strive for the greater good is better.
Yeah, I mean, my next thought to that would be, and I don't want to fall in this same debate because we did this last time, would be unnecessary suffering. Unnecessary suffering does not offer a greater outcome.
Why not?
because it's unnecessary. There's by nature nothing good comes of it.
So the suffering in itself is unnecessary, but that does not mean it doesn't allow for a greater good in the grand scheme of things. So for something to be necessary, it means that it has to happen, right? For X event. So for X to happen, Y must happen. That's what makes it necessary. What we're saying is like the possibility of like these unnecessary sufferings can allow for greater goods, and simply having the possibility means it will come to fruition. So for example, Jordan Peterson talked about this guy. I don't know how true it is, but there's a guy who went into the world and removed eye-eating worms that literally just had no purpose in the world except they crawled into humans' bodies and ate their eyeballs. So he removed that from existence. That is an unnecessary suffering. These people did not have to have those worms, but because of those worms existing, this person strived to be like a heroic figure and make the world a better place. Now, obviously, most people are going to say we just prefer a world without eye-eating worms, and I get that. But what I'm saying is we have all these scenarios that allow for the possibility of these virtues, and what's ultimately is going to happen is that the idea of like my eschatological point of view is not that we're going to live in a world that does not have evil. It's still going to have evil, but we're going to become such beings that everything we do will just not have that evil happen. So the example that I like is like most of us don't touch hot stoves. It's not that the stoves aren't hot. They are still hot, but we have wisdom and knowledge and we become beings that know how to operate, know not to touch a hot stove. Touching a hot stove is an unnecessary suffering. Sure, yeah, I don't need to suffer for it, but I've become a being that will never ever touch the hot stove again because I'm become better as an individual.
Yeah, I mean that's good, and my thought to that would be okay, but do we necessarily need bad things to become the person we want? Right? Do we need suffering to become the person we want? I would argue probably not. Honestly, I'd argue probably not. We don't need unnecessary. At the very least, we don't need unnecessary suffering to become a better person.
To become a person that overcomes evil, you need evil.
Right, but why do we need people that overcome evil?
To be a person that can overcome evil. That in itself is the good thing.
Yeah, but we don't need people to overcome evil. I mean, everyone can just be good and live in a utopia, you know what I mean?
Right, some Teletubbies world you prefer, right? So now we're just getting to our preferences, right? When I read a book, I don't read Teletubbies. I read Lord of the Rings. Because they're overcoming and they're growing and they're striving and there's a thing to cheer on and a thing to move towards. And there's these sufferings that happen and it's unnecessary evils, but all of it ultimately makes us greater beings. You just want to exist in the Teletubbies world. We walk around all day, wave at the happy baby in the sun and have no suffering. Okay, sure. But none of this proves or disproves God.
Yeah, I got a few problems with that. So first, I think it's a bad argument for me to argue for Teletubby world and for you to argue for Lord of the Rings world. Simply because that's all we know. We are obviously born and raised in a world where there's suffering and harm. So obviously we can actually not fathom a world with no suffering since...
Yes, you can. The Teletubbies world. That's the point, is that we can fathom it, and yet it's not something we seek out.
Because it's impossible with suffering.
But I'm saying, I feel like my point is being missed. You're saying that the preference is to exist in a world without the suffering, except when we do escapism, we don't even do escapism into this world. We can imagine it.
So my question would be next, what are we becoming better for, right? So you brought up the eye worm guy who strove to be a hero. He cured the ailment of worms eating people's eyes for no reason and became a hero. But why? Why is he choosing to become a good hero? What's the motivation? I think the motivation at the end of the day to drive people to do good is so we can get closer to a Teletubby world. Same for like curing cancer and curing diseases. Right, I think a lot of doctors dedicate their lives to that so we can move forward as close as humanly possible to a Teletubby world.
I don't think so. I think every time we achieve something that we want to achieve, we just try to move on to the next thing because we're not fulfilled anymore. Even in things that are not like in the aspects of like good and evil, I don't know. Right now, I'm saving up to buy a new graphics card for my computer. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna be excited for a week, and then I'm gonna be on to the next thing after a while, right? We're always striving for growth, and that's the beautiful thing about God is God goes on ad infinitum. We will never ever be fulfilled. We will constantly seek this growth and constantly seek this perfect and constantly seek this goodness, and we'll get to participate in God's creations.
But what is the end goal of all that goodness?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
For you, it's buying a new graphics card or whatever. But I think as humanity, we've always strove to become a Teletubby world. It's just, I mean, all the advancements in technology and science, we are obsessed with expanding life expectancy. We are obsessed with curing cures. We are obsessed with like peptides now. Peptides are like the new thing. I think at the end of the day,
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I was just going to ask you: do you ever watch or listen or play Warhammer?
Yeah, actually, I have a few hundred hours in Warhammer.
Great. Okay. So then you know about the Dark Eldar.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, the Dark Eldar achieved that goal. What happened to them?
There's Slanesh was born.
Well, before they even got to Slanesh, right? Right. We have them. They achieved this goal. They cannot die. They have no suffering. They have no anything. Right. They have everything that they ever want. And they live for all intents and purposes and their ultimate goal of the Teletubby world. And then what happened to them?
They got bored and started getting excess into torture and shit.
Yeah, they started going further and further down, like into depravity, and then went to Slanesh because it just like it never was enough. They always wanted the next thing, and they wanted to keep moving on to the thing. So you say we're striving for this Teletubby world. Yeah, I think it's not the human mind is not striving for the end; they're striving for the journey.
I think that we as humans are trying to eliminate suffering.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we're going off, I don't want to move too off topic, but it all boils back down to the all-loving God argument. That we are born in this world of suffering and horrible things, and we strive as humans to pick up the crumbs and push forward humanity as a whole to as close as possible to a world of no suffering, the Teletubby world, if you want to say. Yeah, I think that just contradicts an all-loving God.
Well, okay. Again, we're just kind of at a stalemate because, again, I don't think it contradicts an all-loving God, and I haven't seen like a logical contradiction. You've given me your preference. I've had my preference, so I could just simply say this. Even if it is the case that you're saying this suffering is in this world and it doesn't seem to really jive with what's happening. If my God exists, he came down and suffered alongside us. And even if we can apply to a mystery to it, he thought the suffering was so valid and so important for whatever the end goal might be that he himself endured it a lot worse than most of us will ever will.
Yeah. Okay, I see your interpretation. Just real quick before I hop off, one last small thing I want to touch on. 'Cause you know I love my boy Alex O'Connor.
Respectfully, the caller's perspective is distinctly modern as and influenced by centuries of Christian thought. Ancient cultures were incredibly self-centered at the top.
It's very true, but kind of a different topic. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, and I would like to go over that. I think that is true and also wrong. True because I was raised in the Bible Belt, so there's like 10 churches on every street, so I've been exposed to Christianity all my life. But anyways, the argument is, I think it's called like Seventh-day Adventists. Do you believe in evolution, or do you believe that there were hundreds of millions of years of dinosaurs and creatures?
He said the word, ladies and gentlemen. He said the E word.
Bruh.
I'm agnostic towards evolution. I haven't looked at the data. I don't know enough about it.
Okay. Do you believe that there existed a time before humans where dinosaurs and creatures existed?
I'm agnostic towards evolution. I haven't looked into it. I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
Like,
well-
why would I believe that?
Because there is a shit ton of data on it in whole career studies, and we have bones.
Like what?
We have dinosaur bones, and we have age profiling of dinosaur bones. That
We have bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have bones.
Okay. I have bones.
and-
I have bones in my body.
Yeah, we take those bones, we
all
look
got
at them, we do age profiling, we say, holy crap, these bones are 100 million years old.
And how do they figure out they're hundreds of millions of years old?
You have to ask one with a PhD.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Most people who believe in evolution don't even know why they believe in evolution. I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I have actually not been given a really good methodology or mechanism to say that this is true.
Yeah, and I'm going to counteract with you and say, well, you believe in Christianity is faith-based. I mean, that is the essence of faith, is that you have faith, you don't have concreteness.
No, I have a mechanism and methodology, right? I have the historical reportage model that I use to raise a probability case to say that Christianity is more likely to be true than it's not.
And so do we. Just because...
So what is it?
What do you mean, what is it?
What is it? What is the methodology in which we determine that evolution is more likely to be true than it is not?
Because we have experts.
And
just because
what do those experts do? That's my point.
They're experts in their field. They're experts in their field. No, okay. I feel like this is heading in a direction where you're starting to say these people who dedicate their lives to this field are invalid. I mean, just because I don't know how certain things work doesn't make my perspective or my idea any less wild.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying I'm agnostic. And most people don't know how they come to the conclusion. So let me just throw it back at you. The vast majority of biblical scholars in the world are conservative Christian that have come to the conclusion that Jesus Christ died and resurrected. So that's the expert in their field. So do you believe now Jesus Christ died and resurrected?
I actually do believe that Jesus did exist, but I don't think he resurrected.
Died and resurrected at those specific points, not just died. That's scholars in general. That's historical scholars in general will have a consensus viewpoint on that one.
No, I do not believe he died and resurrected.
Right. Okay. So you have this consensus viewpoint in the scientific community, right? That say that, yep, evolution is 100% a fact. That's fine. Right. Sure. Okay. But I'm not just going to say because they said yes, it's true. Now, there's certain aspects where I have to trust the experts. For example, when I'm reading the Bible, I have to trust that the expert translated it properly. There's a certain aspect of trust on that. But I'm not going to just look to you guys and say, well, the experts say so, so therefore it's true. You're not going to believe me.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, though, because the resurrection, though, cannot be argued in science. There is no, peer-reviewed data. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no, academic journal out there that explores the science of resurrection.
Do you believe in mathematics?
Yes.
Okay, mathematics cannot be proven in science.
How so?
Mathematics has to be presupposed, which means you have to use math to prove math, which means you cannot use the scientific method to prove mathematics.
Okay. All right. But the scientific method is... The whole scientific method is being able to reperform something, right? So if I say, okay, here, I got this egg, I'm gonna hold it over a flame for 2 minutes.
Right.
And it's gonna turn white. It's gonna cook.
Right.
And the scientific method would say, okay, I'm gonna publish a little paper, and I'm gonna have people peer review it and do the exact same thing I just did to see if they get this result.
So what do they do with evolution? What study did they do that they concluded evolution is true through multiple people were able to repeat it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I'll play with this. So we find embers. There's fossils and embers.
No, you said they were able to repeat it. That's what the part you said. What did they repeat?
They repeat the process of identifying the age of the bones.
Yeah, but evolution. We're talking about evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what did they repeat in a lab to say that evolution is true?
Oh, yeah, we can repeat evolution in a lab on a very small micro level scale for sure.
What?
I do not know, but I promise I could probably find. There's probably. something out there.
Right. And again, this is not me saying evolution is false. This is me pointing at bad epistemology. The vast majority of the world all jumps on board with evolution saying, yeah, it's true, but they've not actually looked at it. They have no clue why it's true. They just say, well, every scientist says it's true, therefore it's true.
Yeah, and I think it gets, when you start going in that territory, and I think preaching that is damaging to society.
Why?
Because we have to trust experts. Trust is what built humanity. We have to trust each other, right? I mean, for example, I go drive a car. I have no idea how that car works. Absolutely no idea. But I trust the expert engineers that they knew what they were doing, so this thing doesn't explode when I start it.
That's disanalogous because I can implement my own tests on a car. If I hit the brake, car stop. Test work, right? Multiple time test work. So I can implement these things. I can also go to the mechanic. I could say, this mechanic, when I drop off mechanic, he give me car, now do thing I want do. So I have like this process where I've like, yeah, I have confirmations of like this information. Now, I'm not saying don't trust the scholarship. When I read a scholar, I have to trust that they're giving me accurate and truthful information for what they pulled from, right? I have to trust that they're not lying when they said they found a bone. So that's not part I have to trust. But that doesn't mean that I have to just trust their conclusions, because there's a big problem, especially in like a scholarship in biblical studies, where the logical foundations, the epistemological standards are not good. Most, like, for example, a lot of biblical scholars do not have any understanding of philosophy and how to make conclusions and actually how to draw them. So, for example, they'll find the data. I'll give you an example of this. A lot of like extreme leftist biblical scholars have concluded that traditionally Yahweh had a wife. You want to know, and that's the consensus viewpoint among them specifically. You want to know all the data that they used to come to that conclusion?
Probably not a lot.
Not much. A single pot. A pot with Yahweh holding the hand of a thing. It says, here comes Yahweh and his Asherah. Here comes Yahweh and his Asherah. So the conclusion then is they can jump to. The big leap is that all of Judaism at one point believed that Yahweh had a wife, and all of it was just lost to history. And they changed it and they altered it in the text. That's a very small amount of data to come to a big conclusion like that. So I trust that they found the data. I trust they found the information. I trust that they're being honest and truthful, but I can read how they're drawing their conclusions, and I can say that's bad.
Okay. No, that's good. We kind of strayed away from a very long way from what I was originally going to say. So let's just assume, because if you're agnostic towards evolution, this ain't going to work. So I guess.
I'm not did you say antagonistic or agnostic?
I meant to say antagonistic, but I said agnostic, yes.
Yeah, I'm agnostic, but I'm not antagonistic. I'm open to it.
Okay, so let's say evolution did exist then. Let's play with this. Evolution did exist before humans, right? There was no humans. It was just these massive carnivores tearing each other apart, a lot of suffering. What was the point of that, I guess?
Well, I'd say it's not my field because I haven't been convinced of it to study it. So I'd say go look at Inspiring Philosophy's videos on evolution, because he's an evolutionary theist and he's got about 3 or 4 debates on that specific topic.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check him out, because that is something I do also think about. That about wraps it up for me. Do I get a taco or no? No taco.
But you get welcomed here every time, because you're always talking good faith, man, and that's what I'm striving for on this channel is good faith debates. So you're always welcome.
And just out of curiosity, in your opinion, what would be the strongest argument that you tussle with? Like, so for my example, my weak point is morality. I don't really know how to tackle that when Christians bring that up, as in like, well, how do you know what's evil? In your opinion, in your time, what is something that you wrestle with? Yeah,
the strongest argument that I have against the existence of the Christian God is the fact that God could actualize a world without sin. It's logically possible, but yet he did not actualize a world without sin and also include free will. I think there are answers to that problem. I don't think it's a defeater, but I think it's one of the strongest arguments. So basically, the idea is this: could God actualize a world where a basketball player always freely chooses to make the shot and still makes the shot no matter what? There is no logical contradiction there, so God should be able to do it if he's all powerful. God doesn't make a world where, for example, we freely choose not to sin, but we still sin. So yeah, there seems to be some sort of like contradiction there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's the strongest one. I don't think it's a defeater. But I think that's probably one of the more difficult ones I've had to wrestle with over the years. It's actually it's probably the first argument that was actually brought up to me as a Christian.
Super interesting. Well, yeah. Also, real quick, just don't post me or anything.
I won't post you.
All right, sweet.
You'll have to remind me every time though, because if not, I might forget. But I won't post you.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
God bless.
Bye.
Always a long, awkward moment for the kicking. Because it takes a while to open up the thing. What do you want, child?
I'm so excited for your next conversation. I'm just here to watch what happens.
Why are you excited for my next conversation?
You'll see.
I got a whole bunch of people in the queue. So is there a specific person you want me to bring up?
Yeah, Chris.
Okay. Also, I'm mad at you.
Wait, what did I do?
You took on the freaking mustard seed debate. You gave it validity.
It has validity in the scholarship.
You gave it power, John. You showed them that it's an argument actually worth bringing up and using. I agree you broke it and destroyed it. No denying about that. But Muslims don't care. They're going to take the same argument, not update their information, and bring it up to somebody else because they're like, oh yeah, this put John on his heels for a little bit, so we'll get the other Susie Christian down there. I think honest to God, for rhetoric purposes, I think with stupid arguments like the mustard seed argument, that you just go, oh wow, so convincing, and move on. That's my perspective.
Here's the reason I took it. Because it's gaining popularity so much, in fact, that Quora made that video, and now Muslims are running it on Christians.
Yeah.
And I have watched, no joke, 20-25 Christians just get smoked by it.
Yeah, but
if I can help the Christians who watched,
I'm talking about setting a mentality where like the Christians are just like, oh, he is talking in a parable, and if you think different, fine, whatever, move on. Because Quora literally posted this on Twitter. I'm going to quote this to you. They're top apologists. I'm going to quote. Are you ready? I'm just going to give you verbatim. Guys, yeah. I have a question. Jesus was going around preaching the gospel, the Injil, but that wasn't Mark, Matthew, Luke, or John. So what Injil was Jesus preaching from? Where can we find the exact Injil that Jesus was preaching from? Wait, Christians, where's Jesus's Injil? Laughing, crying face emoji, along with the verse. And he went out through Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom of healing of every disease and every affliction among the people. John, that's their top person.
Yeah.
That's their head apologist right now.
That's the big dog right now.
They're so freaking stupid. It hurts my skin.
Yeah.
You're a regretful
one of these days, I'm just
church history, but you fall short of Catholic, I think, in the modern sense. But I doubt you think faith is a work.
What?
Trying to figure out your denomination.
Oh, good luck with that. I'm full on Calvinist as of yesterday. Sorry, John, what were you saying?
No, but it's not about giving it validity, because King isn't really like a big player. He's one of the smaller ones.
You had 800.
Like if I debate, if Cora wanted to debate me, I would debate her on a real thing. Like I wouldn't just like, maybe on a regular live stream we could talk about it, or her stupid wine thing, or how many gods died, or like something like that. Mm-hmm. But no, if Cora like messaged me and said formal debate, I wouldn't do a subject like that. I'd do something that is far more detrimental.
Okay, well, fine, fair enough. But you had 800 people watching you guys argue about whether or not Jesus was literally talking about a mustard seed.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll bring up the person you wanted me to bring up.
I'm just going to listen. I won't engage. He's all yours.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
46.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
That's really unlikely, right? I mean, come on, let's be real. Even if I have a great argument.
Then I appreciate your time. God bless.
What? Huh?
You just conceded the debate. You just conceded. So, I mean, you could try again, but maybe don't concede the debate in the first 5 seconds.
The topic is convince him to stop. Chris, the topic is convince him to stop worshiping Jesus. And you just said, hey, man, I probably can't do that. What are you doing? You remember Chris, don't you, John?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No.
He was the guy when I would go on. You know that atheist? I can't remember. Jay. He was sitting and he had like a gray goatee and short hair, and Chris was always there. He was the one calling me a liar.
No clue. I think I have a vague reference to it. All right, man, you want to try again?
He came up at one point.
I mean, dude, I mean, why the silly debate me, bro?
Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
I can try.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you got?
But what I'm saying, you already.
This is not a therapy session. I'm not here to discuss our feelings.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Who's talking about feelings?
Well, you're trying to ask like about me and why I would do certain things and what's my ultimate goal. Blah blah blah. Like we're not here to talk about our feelings and do a therapy session. Do you have an argument?
Wow, that's not what was going on here. But look, okay, so my argument would be simply the first time you decided you know God, you believe in God, was the moment you first committed blasphemy, and you've continued down that road. Every single detail you think you know about God is another piece of the chiseling of your idol that you've done. You've got an idol.
A heck of a conclusion. Do you have an argument to substantiate it?
I'm explaining it to you right now.
Okay.
You have an idea in your. You have an idea in your mind of God. No.
Yeah. So I'm not here to answer 1,000,001 questions. What's your argument?
So you have an idea of God in your mind. That idea of God couldn't possibly be the actual God. Therefore, you have a false idea of God in your mind. That is an image of God.
Okay. So if you and I know a person, and I have an image of that person in my mind, and you have an image of person that in your mind, and they differentiate slightly, does that person cease to exist?
That has nothing to do with God.
Can you answer the question?
No, that does. They
you
do
can't
not
answer the question.
Exist.
Oh, okay. Say they don't cease.
I
to
just
exist.
did.
Okay, so now I'll connect it. Right. Let's say that my mental state towards the exact ontology of God's nature is slightly wrong. How does that prove He doesn't exist?
No, it's not about slightly wrong. We're talking about.
Let's say it's astronomically wrong. Let's say it's completely wrong.
Yeah.
How does it prove He doesn't exist?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. How does it prove He doesn't exist?
That's not proving He doesn't exist. It's proving you shouldn't be worshiping the idea in your head.
Why?
The challenge here is for me to convince you to stop worshiping Jesus.
Yeah.
So
you don't even know why I worship Jesus. So like you're just saying I'm wrong about it. You don't even know if I'm wrong. How do you know my individual mental state?
It has nothing to do with what it is specifically. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
It has nothing to do with what it is. So why are you bringing up an argument if it has nothing to do with what it is?
The point is, we're talking about God, not just any human being, not just any character in a Harry Potter story, right? We're talking about the most important being that could possibly exist. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about supposedly your salvation, according to many of you. Our salvation.
Right.
Like, this could possibly mean eternal torture.
Yep.
According to some, right?
Waiting for an argument. Still waiting to see if he'll fall out of the sky.
Yeah, so you have an image of God in your mind. You call it Jesus. The name Jesus is part of the image. You have literally like pictures of Jesus.
Caller, your argument is self-defeating. You're claiming to know what God is not means you must know what God is.
Hold on, let me
Who's
finish.
blaspheming now?
All right.
No.
So anyways, where's the argument here?
I made no claim to know anything about God ever at all. My claim is
hold on. If you're making no claim to know anything about God, then how do you know I have a false image in my mind about God if you don't even know what the ontology of God is?
Yeah, slow down there. It's about probability, right? It's about likelihood. It's about you do the best you can with reason, hopefully. But instead of using reason, people use faith, which is what you're doing.
So what is the probability case here that you're offering to say that I'm not likely to know?
With all of the gods claimed, all of the lack of evidence on all sides.
How do you all of the lack of evidence? How do you quantify a lack of something?
What?
You said all of the lack of evidence. How do you quantify the lack of something?
Games, man.
Define semantics.
Oh my gosh! You're playing semantic games.
You don't know what
games,
semantics is, do you?
You're playing. Yes, I do. You're playing with the meaning of. You're playing with the meaning of words, trying to avoid the actual meaning, trying to straw man me by looking at words from a different angle than you know I'm using.
You can't straw man somebody with a question.
Oh my God! Yes, you can. Your question can be based on a false premise on something that I didn't say.
That's called a loaded question.
Yes.
It's not
very good. Okay, so again, we're not discussing whether or not you should be believing in Jesus. We're playing semantic games.
The topic is convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, and I'm trying to explain to you that the probability that you have the God correct, an actual real God in your mind.
Yeah, how do you know the probability is low?
On to any degree at all.
Yeah, so how do you know the probability is low?
It has to be low because there are millions of different ideas. You don't have any more evidence than anybody else.
So let me give you a reductio. Let me give you a reductio here. So the probability of you being correct that 2 + 2 is 4 is really, really low because there's billions of other numbers.
No, that's silly.
No? Why? Why is it silly?
That's just goofy.
That's just your argument.
No, it's not.
You just said that the probability of me having the correct image of God in my mind is very low because there's so many other gods out there. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So
and
then the probability of you saying 2 + 2 = 4 is very low because there's so many other numbers out there.
It's not math we're talking about. It's your opinion.
Can you give me the symmetry breaker?
Yeah, it's not math we're talking about. You're talking about addition.
That's circular. Can you give me the symmetry breaker? Hey, you don't know that guy. Why are you using his name?
You don't know that guy. You use his name. Why can't I?
So again, can you give me the symmetry breaker without being circular?
I don't know what you want from me, man. You don't seem to want what. Why is it that John's crew is a bunch of dishonest people who can't have a real conversation? You are playing to listen to the laughter.
It's because it feels like talking to a 2-year-old, and so like we have to really try to like pull it down.
It does not.
That's what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm talking to a 2-year-old.
No, it isn't.
Chris,
you're lying. You're lying.
Chris, do this. Do the argument I help you make.
No, I'm not gonna. Why would I play your game the way you want me to play it? What am I?
You don't remember that? You don't remember that night when you gave me premises and you asked me to validate it, see if it was valid?
I don't remember the specific conversation you're referring to, dude. Apparently you do, and it was like special for you, and I'm happy for you. It's great for you.
Why don't you run that argument? We had premises, we had inference rules, we had conclusions.
Oh my God. Sean, if you want to play with that argument, go ahead. I don't remember what you're talking about.
I might have it in my notes still. One sec.
Jeez. It's just like you just can't have a real conversation. You're too busy playing games. You think you're being logical, host.
Read a book.
That wasn't logical.
Name a book.
What?
Name a book.
Name a book?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Ovid. Currently reading. What do you mean that's what you thought? Ovid? You are playing ego games. Ovid? This is an ego game for you.
What is Ovid?
What is Ovid? Yeah, it's a book, dude. Name a book.
Ovid.
Jesus Christ. Well, it's a writer, I should say.
Oh, so when I asked you to name a book, you named an author? Well done.
Oh, so what, dude? Ego games. Fucking ego games. Ah ha ha ha! I said name a book. He named an author. Ah ha ha! Because I said I'm reading Ovid. Okay, I'm reading Ovid. I'm reading
Are you
the
reading
author.
Metamorphosis?
Yes, that is currently the book.
Chris,
that
the
I'm
reason
reading.
the reason I enjoy doing this to you is
Witty
because you
poetry.
You're an
literally
ass.
stand on street corners and play these sorts of games with
Caller,
people
you're the one
that you
being
think
dishonest
you are
and
smarter
getting
than.
angry here. You claim to
I'm
know
not
John
playing
has to
a
be
game.
incorrect, and when you get
No,
called out,
I saw your
you start
videos. I know who he's
crashing
talking
out.
about. I saw the
You need
videos.
the real Jesus Christ, whom you've
You're
blasphemed.
kind of a dick.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah.
I mean, when you just
Listen,
preach-
if you were a nicer human being and didn't just stand on street corners screaming at Christians, I wouldn't embarrass you in front of kids.
You're not embarrassing me. It's embarrassing for me to watch you. It's childish what you do. This is an ego game. You don't care about what's true. You're playing ego games. Ooh, gotcha. Ha ha. Ooh, look how funny it is. We squished the bug.
How do you
It's
know I don't care
pathetic.
about what's true?
Grow up.
Wait, how do you know I don't care about what's true?
Okay, so let me
Because
ask.
you
Let me
play
ask you,
these
Chris.
games
Let me
when-
ask you, Chris.
when I-
What is the necessary conditions that you'd want to see us act like to say that we are now grown-up adults?
Don't play these semantic games. Don't try to gotcha me and act like I'm stupid because instead of naming a book, I named an author. It's just silly, childish games.
Okay, so that's what not to do. I asked you what we ought to do.
Jesus Christ. What do you want from me, man? You want me to tell
an
you how to
actual
live your
argument.
life? You want me to tell you to stand
You're
up
telling
straight,
me
clean your
I
room?
don't live my life properly. So what is the conditions on how to live my life properly?
Stop being a liar.
That's what not to do.
Yes.
So what
Yes,
ought
it
I
is.
do?
Be honest. There's what to do. Be honest. It's the opposite of
Be
being
honest.
a liar.
Okay, what evidence do you have that I'm being dishonest?
Well, you claim to know God.
I never made any claims. I haven't made a single claim in this
you don't know
entire
God.
conversation that we've had.
Okay, so you don't know God.
What evidence that you have that I'm being dishonest? Don't run.
Do you believe in God or
So
not?
now you're looking for the evidence. So you didn't have evidence before. You need the evidence now.
What are you talking about?
You said you know I'm being dishonest. What evidence that you have that I'm being dishonest? If you're starting with a question, it implies to me that if you're starting with the question, it shows to me that you didn't have the evidence and now you're seeking it.
You're playing a game.
So you
Stop
don't
it.
have the evidence?
I'm trying to show the evidence. You can't answer the
So
question.
no, you're actually trying to get evidence. You don't have any.
I'm trying to show the evidence I know is there. It's already presented.
Oh, so just your
itself before,
intuition.
and
You
I'd
just
like to
have this
pull it out
really
again, but
deep
you're playing
feeling.
silly games because
You just
you're
have
an
this
ego
really
master.
deep feelings. You have this deep feeling that I'm
No,
lying.
it
And
has
you're like, I'm
nothing
going
to
to
do with
find it.
feelings. No.
Then what is your evidence
no.
that I'm lying?
I'm trying to show it. You have to be honest.
Show it.
You have to tell us.
So
the
you
truth
want me to
about
give
your
you the
thinking.
evidence. You're saying I have the evidence.
You are the evidence. How you behave is the evidence.
Okay, what do you have in the actions that I have done that shows I'm being dishonest?
Do you pray to God?
You're seeking evidence.
You pray to God.
So you have no evidence.
You do a TikTok show representing your idea of God and what people should do because God. Do you not?
Dog,
is that
I
not what
can't
this
believe
is?
you have. Just look at above me. The evidence convinced me to stop worshiping Jesus. Therefore, you worship Jesus.
Right. You worship Jesus. That's in the message. You worship Jesus.
Okay, so
that's
you
evidence.
have first premise. John worships Jesus. Okay, that's your first piece of evidence. Now, how do you know I'm being dishonest?
How do you know Jesus?
So you want evidence? You want me to give you evidence?
Right. How do you know Jesus?
So you're asking for the evidence now.
Why do you keep doing the same thing?
Because you said you've already been convinced that I'm dishonest. So therefore, you must have some data to show that I'm dishonest.
Yeah, it's the experience that I've had, and I don't remember all the.
So what did I do in the experience that we had that shows I'm dishonest?
So I'm trying to draw it out.
No,
with
you're
the
trying to seek
conversation.
evidence because you
But
don't have evidence. You're panicking.
I have plenty of evidence. There's no panicking going
Then
on.
give
here.
the
You're
evidence.
playing games. Stop playing games.
John
See, this is
follows
what-
specific arbitrary rules about how to live his life, but doesn't follow the rules of logical debate. Why is Chris exempt from rules?
Fair point.
What are we talking about? What rules am I breaking? There's rules here?
There's rules in debate, yes.
Oh, this is an official debate?
This is a debate channel.
Informal. It's informal. But here's
I don't
the
do
point,
normal.
Chris. This is what I've tried to teach you. Like every time I've ever talked to you, you've called me a liar.
You
Every
think
single
you
time.
need to teach
Right.
me? It's
One
funny.
second. Yeah. Lying is intentional deception.
Yes.
Right?
You intentionally deceive yourself. Yes.
Okay.
Is that his evidence is because I feel like it? Just so you guys know.
No, that's your evidence. There's no feelings here. It's not about feelings.
Your whole
It
life.
is.
I haven't brought up any feelings. Stop it. That's what
Bro.
you're doing. You feel Jesus. You want Christians to feel the Jesus.
Jesus.
Do I
Lord mighty, Christians in the chat, I want you all right now. Feel the Jesus. Feel the
He's going
Jesus,
Pentecostal,
everyone.
y'all.
You in the back there,
Going
do you
Pentecostal.
feel the Jesus? Do you over there, you feel the Jesus? Everyone, I want y'all to feel the Jesus. And remember to tithe 10%. 10% to Big John Steele's show. If you got money in your bank account right now, you're doing something wrong. If you don't feel the Jesus, then you, my friend, are probably not giving to Big John Steele. But if you do feel the Jesus, if you do feel him, you're giving him Big John Steele 10% at least,
Chris,
bare
you
minimum.
You could do so much better if you just gave premises and a conclusion. Or at least an informal argument. Like just again, I taught you how to do it. You can stand on your own 2 feet now.
You have zero evidence for the thing you believe.
How do you know?
Just
So that's
talk-
an assertion, not an argument. Remember, we
But
talked about the difference.
it's
Assertions
evidence.
are where you make a
evidence that
claim,
you don't have
right?
evidence.
Then you then have that you're just asserting.
What you do is you say, see, book says thing, therefore evidence, thing true.
Okay, so what's the argument against it?
Chris, you're
That's
yelling
not how
an awful
logic
lot
works.
For someone not making arguments based
So,
on
caller,
feelings.
Chris.
You got a log in
Oh, one
your
sec.
eye the size of
There's
a red
there's no
I need
can't have
you to do me a
quality
favor.
conversation
I need
with
you to
these
pick up
guys.
this book. It's not very long.
Not interested.
You're not interested in the actual like methodology and rule book for arguments and logical premises and how they work. You're not interested in updating your information. This is not a Christian book.
You think I'm new. I'm not playing your game.
So you don't want to learn
you think
about argumentation?
You think you're doing you really think you're just doing logic? You've been playing silly games the whole time.
We've asked for
That's
an
what
argument.
people say when
Okay.
they don't understand what logic is.
No, that's not what people
What are-
say
what are-
when they
what are the
don't
three laws
understand
of
what
logic?
logic is. People say
What are the three
illogical
laws of
things
logic?
when they don't understand what logic is,
Chris,
and
what are the
that's
three
what
laws
you're
of logic?
doing. Not interested in playing your game.
Exactly.
Stop
They
doing
just
that.
proved
We don't
my
want
point.
we don't we don't
I
wanna
just
play-
got
we
my
don't wanna
evidence.
play
He has
games.
no interest
what
or
are you
understanding
talking
of
about?
logic.
We
You
don't want to
wanna
play games,
a game,
Chris.
but you're
Chris,
you're
we could
actually
engage.
Literally,
No, listen.
You're literally.
We could
playing a game.
engage. We could engage in a conversation if you gave an argument. You gave premises, not assertions, not just saying, hey, you believe this because Chris says so, right? If you gave an argument and it actually had like an inference rule, then we could engage with that argument. The one who's playing games is the one who's
Is you.
not giving an argument when he comes up to a panel, sees a topic, and then does nothing with it.
You're being silly. I did something with it. I explained to you.
What was the
that you
inference rule
don't-
he used?
You don't have any evidence. There isn't any.
How do you
actual
know we don't
evidence
have any
of
evidence?
Your God. Where is it?
So you don't know if we have any evidence.
I
You,
do.
you
know
made
that
an
you don't
assertion
have
and a
any
claim, and then it's like, well, unless he proves me wrong, I'm
It's-
right. Is
you're
that the way you
playing
argue? Okay, let's
silly
try
games.
this. Let's
Can
try
we
this.
get back-
Let's try
can
this.
we
Hold
get
on,
back to
Chris.
some
We don't have
substance?
any evidence. What is your
You
definition
can't
of
do
evidence?
substance.
What is your
You
definition of
can't do
evidence?
substance.
What is your definition of evidence?
Something that increases the likelihood of something. And you don't
Hey,
have
that's
any of
pretty
that.
good. Something that
Hallelujah.
raises the probability
Hallelujah.
of something being true. So then I ask you, how do you know we don't have any evidence?
Where is it?
So you don't know? You made a claim and you can't back it up?
So no. This is how this works. Okay. So
This is how this. You're going to tell me how I got you.
Yes,
bro.
I'm going to tell
I
you.
got you. Okay,
Can you
tell me.
listen?
Tell me
Okay,
how
cool.
argumentation works. Got it.
Yeah. When you're done telling me to tell you, I'll tell you.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Well, when I'm done telling you to tell me, I'll let you tell me. Does that make sense? All right. So now tell me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I just said.
Yeah.
You want me to
But
say
wait
it
until
again?
I finish telling you to tell me before you tell me before you tell me to tell you that I told you.
This is getting boring.
I'm not bored. See, you're relaying your mental state. What's the evidence that it's boring?
So anyhow, that's a matter of opinion. It's subjective. It's not an absolute fact. It's not like 2 + 2 is 4. It's not like there is a God. It's not an objective claim.
Okay. Do you think claims still require evidence, though?
Why the stupid questions? That's a stupid question. You know the answer to this question.
Yeah, the answer is claims. When you make claims, you should back it up with evidence, right?
Yes, you should.
Amen. So when you make a claim against us,
you're trying to turn it against me. You are here on the stage making the biggest claim in the world.
Okay, Chris.
Chris. So show us.
When I tell you, Chris, you have no evidence. Did I just make a claim?
So you worship Jesus, but you don't know he exists?
Wait, if I told you you have no evidence, did I make a claim?
I was asking the host a question.
Chris, if I told you that you have no evidence, Chris, you have no evidence, did I just make a claim?
You made the claim in the first place. I'm responding to it.
No. I'm asking just on this question. It's a simple question.
You made a claim. We all know this.
It's a claim. It's a claim.
It's a stupid, loaded question. You're playing stupid games. It's really annoying.
You've ever seen. You walked in here with your shoes untied, tripped on nothing, fell on your pride. Tried to play it cool, but we all saw you are the silliest goose. That's the law. You spilled your drink on your own shirt, then blamed the cup, made it worse. Everything you touch turns to chaos. You are the silliest goose. No pause. You are the silliest goose. Running around all fast and loose. You are the silliest goose. What you doing? There's no excuse. Honk, honk, here you come. You are the silliest goose.
Sorry, I need a break and just needed to listen to some music.
Oh, that was wonderful. Awesome music. Yeah, incredible.
It was great. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Somebody wants to hope in.
What?
Oh, we're not going to make fun of them because they made a mistake? Isn't that what we do here?
What are you talking about?
You said he wants to hope in. Somebody wants to hope in.
When did I say that?
You didn't say. Oh my God, the stupidity is thick here.
That?
Somebody in the text, in the chat.
Wait, you want me to look at the chat and make fun of somebody because they made a spelling mistake? That's what you want me to do? That's what you're saying. What I should do right now. That's the ought claim here.
No, that's
is that
not
I should
what I'm
read
saying.
the chat and see their spelling mistakes and make fun of them.
Nope.
Some random person on the internet.
Yummy straw man.
Yeah. So
then what are you
Chris,
telling me to do?
You agreed. Yeah. So Chris, you agreed that when I make the claim, Chris, you have no evidence that I'm making a claim, and that claims should be backed up by evidence. So I should be giving evidence that you have no evidence for something, right?
That was really dumb.
Should I be giving evidence? So I make a claim. The claim is, Chris, you have no evidence. Should I give evidence to defend that claim or leave it as an assertion?
We're still playing your silly game.
Okay, fine. Chris, you have no evidence that God doesn't exist.
That's true. Very good.
Okay, so God exists.
No, it's not how that works. It's not how that works.
You have nothing that raises... Chris, you just conceded.
No, I did not.
You have nothing that raises the probability. Because remember, evidence is going to be probability raising. You just conceded when John asked this question that... Gosh. You said you have nothing probability raising that leads to God's inexistence, which means if you hold to God's inexistence, you hold an irrational position.
No, I can't make any decision.
Dog.
Can I speak just a little bit? Do you mind if I talk just a little bit?
I'm going to allow you to speak, but I just need to answer this question. You agree that evidence is anything that raises the probability of something being true, right?
We already did that.
You agree with that?
Thank you for repeating.
Great. So you agree with that. So then when I say you have no evidence for the lack of God's existence, you said, yep, that's true. So the logical entailment there is you do not have the probability raising case to show that God doesn't exist.
I don't have any evidence one way or another about this imaginary thing you're talking about. You haven't even defined it.
You can't say it's imaginary if you don't have any evidence. You just have to be agnostic.
I am being agnostic about it.
Then
You're not
then
listening.
what did the word imaginary mean? If you're agnostic.
If you have nothing to show but a very fanciful story, I'm going to call it imaginary because in all likelihood it is imaginary.
Is imaginary and
okay, John,
agnostic
John, 1 second. I promise I'll let Chris speak. So
something-
Chris, make your case.
Okay,
Oh my God.
I'll let him speak.
The chances that you are anywhere near truth is so nil. It's so ridiculously small. There's no reason for me to consider it above anybody else's ridiculous ideas. There's none. You have nothing.
Okay, fine.
You just make claims.
Sure. Okay, Chris. Go ahead.
You make claims that prove themselves false, like it's written on our hearts. And it's written in the scripture, and the Holy Spirit will confirm it for us, and yet we disagree with each other. How does that work?
I've never made those claims.
I'm speaking about Christians in general, man.
You can't do it.
Okay, so let's grant your worldview, right? You can't believe anything that's just a fanciful story. Can you prove to me evolution without just giving a fanciful story?
I'm not worried about evolution one bit.
Do you believe
know.
evolution exists?
I mean,
do you believe in evolution?
I lean in that direction.
Okay, can you convince me of it without a fanciful story?
No, I can't.
Okay. What about dinosaurs?
What about them?
Do you believe they exist?
I've never seen one.
Do you think the Earth is round?
I mean, it looks like they used to exist.
Do you think
they went extinct.
Do you think the Earth is round?
I don't understand. How many scientific objective facts are you going to question me about before you finally realize that if I don't...
Do you think the Earth is round?
I don't care.
You don't care if the Earth is round? So
I don't.
you're the truest form of agnosticism. You're just indifferent towards literally everything.
No, I'm not indifferent towards literally everything. It's really weird how you ask a few questions and you think you understand everything about what I think and how I think.
You didn't even ask me questions and you assumed everything that I think.
That's literally what
Imagine
you
you saying
do. Everyone, Chris.
No, I did not assume everything you think. I didn't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you believe that is true, Chris?
I don't know, 2 + 2 is 4. If I drop this broom right now, it'll fall.
Okay, 2 + 2 is 4. Can you prove to me 2 + 2 is 4?
So the way I operate with epistemology, the way my mind works, okay, it's a little weird to get started, right? To get started, it's like there's only one thing I can be certain of, and you know the whole if I think then I am, right? I think therefore I am. I can't deny that. It would be illogical. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, you can.
But at the same time, the experience of that is subjective. It's not really objective. It's weird.
That's a nonsensical philosophy, and I'm going to explain how real quick. Hold on.
I think you're not listening.
No, I am listening. I am listening.
No, you're not fucking
You said
listening.
the only thing I know that is true is I think, therefore I am. Why did you leave? Why did you leave, Chris? We were having fun, Chris.
So angry.
Anyways, that I just want to explain that philosophy is really silly. It's a self-refuting philosophy. I think, therefore I am is the only truth, right? Well, right there, you also have more truths just in that sentence. For example, is that claim true? If it's true, then therefore you also believe in truth claims. Then you also believe in the laws of logic. You also believe in claims, and you get this like chain that keeps going on that you have to have all these like presuppositions to even make that claim in the first place. So I think that being the only truth, that doesn't really work. That's all I was trying to say, Chris.
See, Chris is the only atheist. Well, so I think he is the second most ignorant atheist on the app. The first one is a guy named Evidence First.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a debate with him. He got real mad at me and kicked me. Real mad at me.
Yeah, Evidence First is the worst atheist on the app. Chris gets second place. So
hold on, don't. People are crazy. Like, do you really think I kicked him and then accused him of leaving? Do you think I was running from Chris? The people are against you will never ever just like, oh yeah, no, that was a good point. I don't agree with you, but they're always like, you ran from the guy who just screamed and yelled, didn't even know the laws of logic.
Make sure you read
Chris is
super
one of those
chats.
people that I actually genuinely think he became an atheist through religious trauma, and he's the only atheist on the app that I continue to try to give him religious trauma. So,
Hold on, I got some super chats here to go through.
I thought you were going.
Please, Lord, give me strength to not have my back blown out by a guy. The devil's juice may tempt me, but the Lord's light is warmer than any man. Oh, you're so edgy. You spent $5 to say that? Keep like, if you think I'm going to crash out over it, keep sending more $5 super chats with those kind of jokes.
That's
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Is this Brian Griffin? Fair enough. I understand the joke because Brian Griffin is like, anyways. Caller confused, probably and possibility. I feel the Jesus. Hallelujah. Jumps out of my chair. I feel the Jesus. I really enjoyed this conversation. This is why you guys watch. You guys don't watch because like I'm an intellectual who engages in good conversations and learn. You watch for the Jerry Springer moments. Let's be honest. I'm just a train wreck waiting to happen. Bro should watch two atheists argue correctly. I'm saying this from a humble place. Listen, man, there are atheists out there that really do want to represent the position and argue for truth, and I appreciate those guys, man. Again, I always bring it back to the math guy. I always forget his name. I don't know why, because I really like him. But the math guy, he's really good at steel manning positions and arguing against bad positions, even if it's from his perspective. Caller, I don't know if it's true. Also, caller, how many times are you going to bring up the facts? These people are crazy. All right, let's bring up another guest. Are you sticking around? Fine.
So, I can stick around for a second. The atheist you were thinking of is Blitz. So I appreciate, genuinely, I appreciate any atheist that types in the arguments. Because Ian does it, Blitz does it, Monkey Boy does it. These are the primary atheists where I actually see them type their opponent's arguments. And so there's no escaping for the opponent. They type their words verbatim, try to make the inference rule, and show the flaw in the epistemology.
Mm-hmm. Racism cased against Christ. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? All right, man, let me bring you in. All right, convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. Go ahead.
So I've got a few premises. It's a shorter one. A being that dehumanizes and insults based on ethno-religious prejudice.
Oh, it's Rick.
Worshipped. It is me, yeah.
Why'd you put your name like that?
I just decided to put it that time. It says Rick at the end.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of slow.
I'm sorry.
All right.
What
do you got?
So, being that dehumanizes and insults based on ethno-religious prejudice shouldn't be worshipped. Jesus dehumanizes and insults a woman based on ethno-religious prejudice. Jesus shouldn't be worshipped.
I just disagree. Premise one.
Okay. On what basis, dude? Or I can try and motivate it.
Where are you getting the ought claim from?
So I would say that I'm a little bit torn between being a moral subjectivist. I would say for now I'm kind of that. Although I don't know if you've seen. I think his first name is Alan. His last name's Gaworth.
Alan. Sorry. Listen, I know.
Yeah, that's what he was yelling for.
I gotta keep it spicier with you because if not, we're gonna get boring. We're gonna lose half the. Anyways, keep
going. Let me think. So yeah, I could run that argument. It might be interesting for you. So essentially, all of us are agents. Being an agent means that you're a being that takes action and has goals. It takes action based off of those goals. Part of having a goal is that you ought to do things to achieve it. That's kind of like in the definition of what a goal is. Since every agent takes action, therefore has goals, and has reasons, therefore, to take those goals or to take those actions to achieve the goal. Therefore, all agents must claim a right to essentially freedom and well-being, and I can get more into those. So essentially,
just right off the bat, it sounds like you're trying to get an is from an ought, or an ought from an is. It sounds like a description that you're observing agents that make goals and do things in accordance with achieving those goals. Therefore, they ought do it. Like an ought is something that somebody should always strive to do, no matter what the case is. Now, we could simply change the ought based off changing the goal.
Yeah. I was going to get the argument's a a little bit longer than this, so I think you'll understand in a second where I'm going with this. So every agent must claim a right to freedom and well-being. If you, an agent, claims a right to freedom and well-being in order to achieve the goals that you want, in order to take actions to achieve those goals, rather, then you must also extend that right to all other agents.
Why?
On the basis of their agency. Because if you don't do that, then that's special pleading.
I don't see how that's special pleading. I could be a being that seeks freedom and well-being for myself and not also seek it for others. I don't see that as special pleading.
Sure. So if your goal is freedom and well-being for yourself, and you're claiming that right on the basis of your agency, then that means
no. I don't think rights exist.
Yeah, it's a conceptual framework.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said I'm claiming the right. I don't think like I can seek a goal of having freedom and well-being, but that's not a right. A right entails that I deserve it. Why do I deserve it?
It doesn't mean that you deserve it necessarily. The right in this instance is just simply saying that if you want to achieve your goal, which you by definition do, then you have to like not be super sick, right? And you also have to not be like held down on the floor by somebody else, of course, unless you want that. But so you have to have your freedom and your well-being to achieve it. And in order to do that, you have to claim that as a right, which means that people ought not interfere with your freedom and well-being.
I think there's a huge leap there, right? I'm claiming that as a right. It means it's something that's entailed to me, right? I don't think there's a right that actually exists. I think I can either achieve the goal or I cannot achieve the goal. So I have goal to have freedom and well-being, right? I can achieve the goal or I cannot achieve the goal. That doesn't entail that I deserve the goal, right? So if somebody in another country comes over and takes over Canada and they throw us all in internment camps, I could sit there and be like, I have the right for freedom as much as I want, but that doesn't mean I have it or I possess it. So I don't know what a right is in this situation. It's just simply a desire that I have.
Let me try.
Let me even.
I might have to read some more Coerth.
Yeah,
I could just run it from subjective. Sorry.
Let me clarify too. Like, I have the desire for ice cream. That doesn't mean I deserve ice cream. I have the desire for freedom. That doesn't mean I deserve freedom. Go ahead.
I might have to do a little bit more reading and see like motivations for the premises in Coerth's argument, because I don't think I'm explaining it properly here. We can just run it off of subjective ethics for now. So then I would say that like subjectively, I think racism is wrong because it affects somebody's well-being in a negative way. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, of course, unless you're a cracker like you or myself, then we don't deserve it,
Correct. I could just simply, for the sake of conversation, I could simply just take the negative to that, and then we're stuck in a stalemate.
I mean, as long as so you think, John, honestly, that you should worship a being that is does a racism or two?
So let me give you a real life example. Have you heard of Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, those guys who have the truth.
Yeah, so they genuinely believe that black people are more superior than white people, that they are going to rule in heaven, that white people are going to be slaves in heaven, that we're actually designed to be their servants, but they're supposed to be kind masters. And they think that is the nature of God and what he's entailed for us. Now, me simply just saying, well, I don't think we should worship a God that's racist doesn't debunk their argument, because they do worship a God that's racist and they do take that position. And there is no right or oughts I can use against them, because where do I derive that from? Because if I say we have a right to all be treated as equal, they're going to say, where do you get that from? Because the scripture clearly says here that, Jesus was brown and that the people who are on ships are eventually going to inherit the world, and they're going to make everybody else slave masters, or black Hebrew Israelites. Sorry, not Hebrew Israelites. They're going to rule over us instead.
Sure, they could say that, but I mean, as far as your position goes, like you don't honestly think that you should worship a being that's like racist, do you?
Well, here's the thing. If God was an actual racist, yes, I do. But I don't think God is an actual racist.
Okay. Do you think it's something that's objectively incorrect to do a racism?
Depending on by which standard we're saying objectively incorrect. Now, God is the standard. God is good. God is a selfless act towards another being. The commandment that comes in the scripture is there's either man nor free, or there's neither male nor woman. There's either nor Greek nor Gentile. There's no slave nor free man. For we're all one under Christ Jesus. So if we're in Christ Jesus, we are one unified essence, so to speak. Using that term loosely, essence, not the ontological sense. So yeah, no, I don't think God is racist, but if it was the case that he was racist, what am I going to do? Shake my fist at him and say, nuh-uh?
Well, sure, but that's not your actual position though.
Well, what I'm saying is you don't think we should worship a God that's racist. You're going to try to point to me and Jesus, who is God, and say, well, Jesus did a racism, therefore don't worship him. But the conclusion of my argument is even if you convince me that Jesus did a racism, I wouldn't stop worshiping. I just worship a racist Jesus.
I think it would be more interesting if we actually went into your actual beliefs rather than this hypothetical races.
If you prove to me that the God of the universe was actually a racist, I'm not going to stop worshiping him. What is that going to do for my outcome in life and my existence?
I mean, yeah, and if my mother had wheels, she'd be a bike,
right.
But he doesn't. So we could argue about your actual position if you at Jesus as you conceptualize him currently.
But this is my actual position. My actual position is I don't think Jesus is a racist. I think that there is a theological motivation to how he's speaking to the Samaritan woman. And we can do this because the very first person that he spoke to and gave miracles to and presented himself to as the Messiah was the Samaritan woman. So we start in the John, right? Him presenting himself to the Samaritan woman, doing the miracles, sending her out to claim it. And then we have this other instance where he says, shall not be given to the dogs. It's speaking to the underlying culture that was there too. And it was an aspect of a test of her faith. Now you could say, well, no matter what, you should never call her a dog and it's a racist thing because she's part of a different race. Sure, fine, whatever. If you were to convince me of your position that that was a racism, that's not going to make me stop worshiping Jesus.
Well, I would say that he wouldn't be God then. He wouldn't be God if he did do that racism, because God, on your view, wouldn't do racism because racism's dumb, right?
That doesn't follow because God did slavery, and I don't think slavery is generally a good thing.
Well, it's possible that God that's real isn't the God of the Bible.
What? That had nothing to do with
It's possible that it's possible that there is a God who's not the God of the Bible, or it's possible that the God of the Bible is
No, this is an internal critique, right? You're trying to show like a logical inconsistency, show that this God cannot exist, right? If I'm taking this idea that if God did a racism, right, he's not real because God wouldn't do a racism. Well, I don't know how we follow that because God did slavery. I don't think slavery is generally a good thing, but he still exists, and I think he allowed it for certain reasons.
Well, it's not simply allowing it.
People zero in on the alleged racism but ignore the fact that he healed her daughter immediately afterward.
Well,
yeah, because I think it's a good thing that the daughter was healed, and I'm trying to point out a bad thing. It's almost like that's how the argument works.
It's kind of a weird thing, though, to say Jesus is not God because he said a racism, but then performed a miraculous miracle from miles away.
Sure, he could have had some advanced technology that other people didn't know about, or some advanced reasoning, I mean, what is that less likely?
Rick, I love you, man. This is the worst argument you've brought to me so far. Jesus said a racism, so therefore it's more likely that he had some sort of space device in his pocket that he could click and heal somebody from a mile away with a thought.
No, that's not my exact conclusion. I mean, we've been over. You don't. Whenever I bring up the theoretical virtue stuff, you usually go tell me to talk to Than, so we can't have that conversation. And I would love to, actually. I try to get on the Thans and Mike's.
And they haven't brought you up yet?
I'm not usually available during that time. Like I work really early in the morning, get off pretty early, so I'm normally asleep whenever they're streaming. I know we'd have to get into theoretical virtues. You know, I could run a different argument why I think you should be a necessitarian if you think the contingency argument's legit.
Nah. I think we've exhausted our conversation for today, Rick. I do have other people in the queue.
All right,
bro.
I gotta stop using arguments that depend on theoretical virtue analysis. Then
I guess so. I'll just use
my fatal flaw. All right.
God bless, man.
Adios.
Again, we're Rick fans here, so everybody be nice. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how are you? Hello? Nafesh.ai. Yes.
Oh, hey. Real quick. I'm sorry. Hey, real quick. I just wanted to know the name of that logic. I'm 50.
All right. It's a rule book for arguments by Anthony
Rule book
Weston.
for arguments. Thank you. That's all. Bye.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's a good place to start. It's a pretty short book too. You could probably read it in a weekend. It's only 100 pages. 102 pages to be specific. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 44. Thank you for having me. I'm Muslim.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus? Also, you got a lot of background noise going on.
Okay. Let me see. Is it better?
You didn't change a single thing. It's exactly the same.
What about now?
Same thing.
Okay, let me just try to mute. What about now?
Well, we'll just move ahead, man. What's up? What do you got against us? Or not against us, for us, sorry.
Is it better now?
Yeah, so much better. That's great.
Okay, it was the headphones. So, just quick, so man is imperfect, even the perfect man is imperfect, correct?
It depends on your definition of perfect and what's the semantic range of it.
Yeah, so man, a person that is fully man, he has needs, he gets hungry,
This doesn't really
dependent.
answer my question. What's the definition of perfect that we're using here?
So the definition of perfect is that you depend on something else.
The definition of perfect is to depend on something else?
Yeah.
So then God's not perfect because God doesn't depend on something else.
Yeah, God doesn't. Okay, let's
I think we're
throw
getting
the
lost.
perfect.
I think we're getting lost in the language there. I think what you mean to say that perfection is not dependent.
Yeah, perfection is not dependent, but we can go directly with the dependency. So man is dependent, correct?
Yeah, why is that imperfect to be dependent?
No. I throw the word perfect in the trash.
Okay.
So man is dependent, and God is independent.
Okay.
So if do you believe that Jesus was fully man and fully God in the same time?
Truly man, truly God.
Well, what is the difference between truly and fully?
Fully has like some sort of like range to it. Like you're trying to say there's like a certain amount if you want to like focus like on a semantic to it. When we say truly, that he has that ontology, that he possesses it in its truest sense.
Okay, but you know the verse that says he will be man in every kind of way, fully way, not fully, but in every way.
I don't know the verse, no, but yes, Jesus is truly man, which means all the aspects of what makes a human, Jesus possessed it.
Okay. So he has two contradicting natures in the same time.
He possesses two natures. They're not contradicting. For a contradiction to be true, it has to be in the same way, in the same sense. It is not in the same way, in the same sense.
So I don't understand how he is man. Do you mean the human flesh is like a jacket he takes on and
No.
off?
No.
So if he has
my friend, I've answered enough questions. I need an argument.
Okay, so the argument is if you accept the law of non-contradicting, that he cannot be human and be God because these are two contradicting natures.
Yep, and that would be true if it was in the same way, in the same sense, but it's not.
Okay. But I actually came up because I want to. It's not a point or an argument. I'm studying the Bible at the moment, and I want to ask a question about some of the studies I'm making. It's a quick question. Do you know any verse from which quotes Jesus, where Jesus says the Father is God?
Yeah,
because I couldn't find it.
If you got questions about like your Bible study, I highly recommend you go to one of the local churches in your area and speak to the religious leader there.
Okay. No problem, bro. Thank you for having me.
All right, God
so
bless.
see you next time.
Long awkward pause while I go for the removal of an individual. Remove them from life. No, I'm just joking. We had a bunch of people in the queue, and now they're gone. No, now they're gone. Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he probably found you because he follows me because he came up on my live.
Probably. We always appreciate just solid people. Not looking for the... Okay, so if you're God, unflesh your vessel. Those moments.
I literally just saw a little John.
Yeah, literally. There's me and there's... Okay, Little John. Little John let Big J have the credit for once. No, listen. I am the lowest tier Christian apologist that exists, and I just get the scraps. Even John has surpassed me.
I am lower than you. Don't sell yourself short.
I don't believe that. Do a freestyle, Little John. Someone said, don't.
It's why you're Big John and I'm Little John.
But Little John in Robin Hood was bigger.
Different domain.
Yeah, he didn't make a typical Mohammedan argument. He didn't. No, he was a nice guy.
Brother Wallahi.
Why do you always talk as soon as I'm about to do an introduction? Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm good. I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2008.
Is that right, Abby? I'm bad at math. Apparently, so is Abby.
Okay.
Depends on what month he was born.
What month?
I was born in March.
All right, go ahead, man. Can you convince us to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yeah. Do you think Jesus is God?
Yup.
Okay. Do you think God created the universe?
It's not 1,000,001 questions. What's the argument?
Yeah, the argument is that the universe was not created, therefore there's not a necessity for God.
Okay, prove it.
Yeah, so do you think change can come into existence?
That's a question.
Okay, yeah. Do you want the deductive argument?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah. So P1 would just be if change were to come into existence, then a changeless state changed into a changing state. P2, a changeless state cannot change into a changing state.
Let's slow down for one quick second. Why the heck is this not in the dark mode? This should be in dark mode. Dark reader should be on. Whatever. Okay. P1.
Yeah. So if change came into existence.
So hold on. If change came into existence, that doesn't make any sense. Does change
Okay,
exist?
I'm not. Yeah, I think change exists.
So change actually, like the thing change exists. It has an ontology.
Yeah, I would consider it to be like a thing that exists within physical time. Yeah.
Okay, so what is change?
Yeah, it's the transition between two moments.
But isn't that just a moment and a different moment? And then change is just the measurement of that?
Okay, right. Yeah, so it changes the measurement.
So then change in itself it doesn't actually exist.
Wait, you don't think that measurements exist?
Not in the sense of like having an ontology. Like what we're talking about change, right? Change is a measurement, right, between 2 points. And so this is what we'd say change is. But you're using change as like change actually possesses something.
Yeah, I would say that change is contingent on like the substance of time. Whatever, like the two moments
I think
are
time,
obviously.
Can we just pause there? Isn't time just a measurement of change?
I wouldn't say so because I don't think that like time. Well, I think that time could be measured to for different parts. I don't think it's specifically for change.
So what is time without
But
change?
I think change is contingent on time since it's temporal.
Well, hold on. So let's say we have a hypothetical world. We have something that does not change, an immutable thing. What is time in that situation?
Yeah, that immutable thing would just be atemporal.
That's not what I asked you. What is time in that situation? All there is just an immutable thing.
I don't think that time would exist if something is immutable.
Okay, so then is not time just the measurement of change?
No. So change is obviously contingent upon time, but it's not a bicontingent. It's not a biconditional.
Change is okay. So then, what is time if it's not just a measurement of change?
Yes, it's a series of. It's a collection of events.
Is that not just a measurement of change?
I mean, I would say that's like an idiosyncratic view of like how we define time. If you would like to, I mean, like say that, then sure. But I would just say it's just like a series of events, and change could be parts of those events.
So a series of events. There's event 1, event 2. Are those two events identical?
Obviously not.
Okay,
no.
so then what are we measuring?
I'm confused what that question's asking.
You're saying time is just a series of events. That's what you said time is, right?
Yes.
We have event 1 and event 2. Those two events are not identical. So what are we measuring?
Yeah. So obviously, are you asking like, what are we measuring between those events?
How do we separate the difference between event A and event B?
Yeah, we could separate them based on a certain scaling. Like depends on
By
how
the
you view
change.
time. Yeah, if there is a change in events, then
So then time isn't just a measurement of change.
yeah. So I mean, if you're like regarding that like on how we measure things in time, then sure, change would be like obviously relevant there. But I don't think that time is contingent on change.
Yeah, you just keep saying I don't think, but we're going through it, right? So if the only thing that we have to like actually make any sort of nuance or any sort of information of what time is a measurement of change, and there's no way to even for you to articulate it in a different way, why is it not just a measurement of change?
Yeah, so I think that like that's one way we could describe time, but that's not going to encompass all theories of time.
All right, I'm going to move on. Appreciate you.
Okay.
You're not answering the question. You're just saying we can do it that way, but we can do it a different way. So what is the different way? If you don't give me the answer, I'm moving on.
I already told you how I define time.
What is the different way of using time?
Contingent. Yeah, I mean, there's different theories of time. Of course,
well,
like
congratulations, there's different theories. I would love to hear it. I keep asking over and over again. We're not getting an answer. Bert again.
I mean, it still wouldn't follow because. Say what?
The other person. Bert again. Hello, how are you? And just real quick. Go ahead. No, we already know how old you are. All right, Bert again. Get out of here. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 34. You look just as Neanderthal as each other. Like the facial bone structure of your face is so weird, bro. I'm not even joking.
Why would I continue a conversation with you? Why do you think I would keep going after that?
So edgy.
So edgy. Your mic's not on.
Man, I know. That's why I'm yelling. I'm still eating.
Oh God. Figure that out. Like, figure out your life, woman. Let's do some soups. People 0 in the alleged racism, but ignore the. Oh yeah, we did that one. And 200 pennies for change for your life. Thank you. Appreciate you. Remember, guys.
Toss a coin to your grifter.
Anyways, John, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was saying his argument, based off of what I heard, it still wasn't gonna follow, because you could hold to like Ryan Mullen's view that time is an attribute of God's nature, which is expressed through an act of causal power extrinsically. And then it's just going to be the case that change that's coming into existence, so to speak, not in an ontological way, but in a way that is extrinsic to God. Like, I don't see how that's going to follow whatsoever, that the universe isn't created from that. Because if you just hold that God is temporal in that sense because time is an attribute of his nature, then guess what? The universe can still come into existence extrinsically as a creation.
I still didn't get an answer to my question, even through you. What is time if not just but a measurement of change?
So Ryan Mullins gives a very, very big definition of time, and he goes through. Have you read his book, The End of the Timeless God?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna send you just one page later because it's a page.
I'm not gonna
it's
read
a
it.
one.
Not gonna read it.
One.
Not gonna do it. Ooga booga Neanderthal fallacy. Thank you very much.
He just simply says that time as a measurement of change is far too simplistic in order to actually qualify what time is.
Still doesn't answer my question.
I'll give you what time is, but I'll have to send you a page.
I'm not reading the
It's
page.
a big
Just tell me.
explanation. It's a big explanation.
So convincing. This is just literally what the atheists do. Google it. Same with the Muslims do. Google it.
No, I said I'll send it to you. I'm not telling
reading.
you. To
I don't know
Google.
how to read, John. Now you're embarrassing me. Because
Yeah,
now everybody
time
knows
is an
I don't know
attribute.
how to read.
Time is an attribute of God that is expressed through an act of causal power extrinsically.
Because God is
how I
mutable,
usually
which is
describe
a
it.
measurement of change. You have for that argument to work, God has to be mutable. No?
Well, no, you can still. No. You can still say God is immutable, such as intrinsically God does not change.
Extrinsically,
But
he does.
extrinsically,
There's
God.
immutability to it. Yeah. It's still a measurement of
Is an act of
change.
causal power from himself.
At the end of it, you're just extrapolating on what change is.
Sorry, John. It's Bert again. I didn't expect to be brought up mid-debate, so I
Bad
missed you
bars.
calling me up. Take me back.
What?
I need to contend against Chris for the moniker of silliest goose.
Well, come back up. You're not in the queue. Mute on my bull until what? Calm down, Funky. Calm down. Convince me to stop worshiping tacos and I'll eat Jesus. Actually, yeah, that's actually a fair position, because the Eucharist, right? Yeah, you shouldn't worship tacos because they don't have anything to actually entail a worship except enjoyment of flavor. Right? And you can enjoy a taco without worship. Therefore, you shouldn't worship tacos. Now, you should actually start participating in the Eucharist, which means you need to go get catechized from one of your local churches. Based. I am so powerful. I say two things that in the chat and get told to calm down. Witness me, chat. Calm down. Calm down, Funky. What are my thoughts on the movie Obsession? I actually want to watch it, but I just hear it's a little too gory. Again, gore can be good or bad, and depending on like the context. Like, for example, I'm watching Boys, and a lot of times I have to look away because it's like I don't want that in my head. But then it's like such a good show as well.
Money, 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 money.
Thank you. All right, let's try again. Bert again.
What up, John?
What up? All right, go ahead. Silliest Goose speed run. What do you got?
All right, ready? P1. Jesus said, "Feed the hungry." P2. I am hungry. P3. You have to stop worshiping God so that you can give me a taco.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up and witness
Do I
the
win?
silliest goose you've ever seen. You walked in here with your shoes untied, tripped on nothing, fell on your pride, tried to play.
Actually, Chris is sillier.
Dang.
Appreciate the effort, though.
Yeah, I tried. Hey, I did want to continue with the what was it? The subjectivity wall that you banged my head against earlier. If you're down,
hit me.
It feels like one of those thought terminating things that a lot of religions do. They kind of like can't question. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to get around it other than to just say that. I mean, if everything's subjective, then we would just assume that things such as your pen are, we can agree that they're objective, right?
Well, into what way you want sense. Again, if the classical God exists, it's all based off of stance. And if we wanted to use the truest form of subjectivity, everything would be subjective.
Yeah. So you can, I guess the real contention is, are morals subjective or objective? And you can't like hold up a bucket of morals and say, is this objective?
I also can't hold up a bucket of math.
That's fair. That's totally valid. But you can hold up a pen.
It's true.
That's not subjective. Are you positing the idea that everything exists within the mind of God and isn't actually I don't know the philosophical term for it. It's not tangible.
Yeah. So in the classical viewpoint of Christianity, which I lean more classical, I have some more modern senses too. I probably like neoclassical. I really haven't looked too much into it because I actually find it non sequitur arguments usually. So what the hell was I saying? Yeah. So the traditional sense is all things exist within the mind of God. That God, when he knows all things and he's omniscient, it's not because he looks extrinsically. It's because he looks intrinsically and he witnesses all things. This does not make us a part of God, just like a fetus is not a part of the mother, right? We exist within.
Right. Math is not a part of our minds, but it's in there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it. Sure. That's fine.
Okay. I don't really see how this conversation goes anywhere if that's the case. Is it just dead or is there something I'm missing here?
I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody smarter than me. Seems to me to be dead.
Okay. Would you like to talk about the resurrection then?
Okay. Debunk the resurrection. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we don't have any evidence for it. Would you like to posit some evidence for it?
Okay. How do you know we have no evidence for it?
Because it seems as though all of the evidence that's been presented has been debunked, such as, say, the Shroud of Turin's pretty popular right now.
So, okay. Does the Shroud of Turin raise the probability of Jesus' existence or lower it?
It raises the probability of his existence, but it says nothing of his resurrection.
Okay. So, the Shroud of Turin, the implication there is it was wrapped around his body when he was dead, and then the image came because of his resurrection. Does that existence raise the probability of Jesus resurrecting or no?
I would reject that it is evidence of a resurrection, though.
That's not the question I'm asking. Does it raise the probability of his resurrection?
If it is the case that the result of a miracle is produce the Shroud of Turin, then yes.
Well, no, that's kind of going back and saying if the event happened, then that would be a piece of evidence. We can't confirm the event, without looking at the evidence. So if we look at that, we look at the Shroud of Turin, right? Does the existence of the Shroud of Turin raise the probability of Jesus' resurrection or lower it or do nothing at all?
I can't answer an affirmative here because I believe that the shroud is a fraud. I believe it's fraudulent.
Sure. Yeah, that even may be the case. Raising the probability of something doesn't mean it's true.
Okay, sure. Then based on what you said, yes, it would raise the probability. Absolutely.
Okay. So then we do have some evidence. That's a piece of evidence. It's not conclusive, right?
Now I have to disagree with you that it is a piece of evidence.
Well, that's the definition of evidence. Evidence is anything that raises the probability of something being true.
Then I guess I would have to debate the validity of the Shroud of Turin as evidence, right?
Well, you just conceded that it raised the probability of it being true, so therefore it's evidence. You'd have to go back, you'd have to double back on yourself and say you're wrong.
I think for that branch of the conversation, I'm granting that it is so that we can get to the end of that conversation.
Okay, so,
yes,
having a piece of evidence also doesn't mean it's true. It just means you have something that raises the probability of it being true.
Then I guess I can't concede that it is a piece of evidence, right?
So you say
I do have to double. If I did affirm that, then I do have to double back on that because I don't believe that.
Well, I'm not asking what you believe. I'm asking about a likelihood or probability. Right? For example, if Jesus resurrected, if that is the case, would you expect to see something like the Shroud of Turin?
I don't think you can make that statement. I don't see how something like the Shroud of Turin follows. We don't have any other miracle artifact.
Right. So that's a type token. It's a type token distinction. Something like the Shroud of Turin. That doesn't mean it specifically is the Shroud of Turin. So we're talking about a piece of evidence that seems to be miraculous and unexplainable. So would you expect, if Jesus resurrected, would you expect to see something like that?
If Jesus resurrected, would I expect to see something unexplainable? Is that what you're asking?
Something like the Shroud of Turin. Doesn't have to be the Shroud of Turin, but something like within that realm. The Shroud of Turin is a piece of cloth that is unrepeatable, that presents an image of a Christ-like figure, right, within its cloth.
See, that's where I draw my issue. Is you claim positively that it is a miraculous piece of
No, I did not.
That's
claim
what you
that.
said.
I did not claim that.
Okay, but you didn't say the word miraculous. You said that it's unrepeatable.
It is unrepeatable. We can't remake it. We tried.
I thought that people have done this already.
Nope. We cannot repeat the Shroud of Turin.
Hey, brother.
Do you know?
Love you. I gotta head out. I'm at the church now. So.
God bless.
Peace, man.
Huh. So is the Shroud of Turin a critical piece of evidence that you lean on to affirm the resurrection of Christ?
No, not really, but you brought it up, right? And so I'd say the Shroud of Turin is something that raises the probability of the resurrection of Jesus, so it'd be included in the data to go towards my hypothesis, but it alone is not something, right? And the new X-ray dating actually puts it within Jesus's time frame, so that's another piece of data that raises the probability, so it's another piece of evidence that points to the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
I haven't heard of any of the new data. I'll have to look into that. I don't think you're lying to me, but X-ray dating I'm not familiar with. I don't know how they dated it to begin with, but I thought it was dated to like the 14th century or something.
They did carbon dating, and then it dated to like somewhere outside of like 200 years of Jesus. So it wasn't like within the realms, maybe even longer than that. And then they did a new form of X-ray dating. I don't know the methodology on how that works, and it put it within the time frame of Jesus.
Interesting. Dang, I had something and then it flew away. Oh.
Okay, so then I'll keep going then. So if evidence is anything that raises the probability of something being true, and then so what we're doing is like if-then conditional. So this is like a material implication. If Jesus did resurrect, would you expect to see X, Y, and Z events? And is there a different hypothesis that explains the data? So something like, if Jesus did resurrect, would you expect to see the existence of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
Man, I feel like there's so much smuggling going on here because I have problems with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I have problems with the resurrection. I have problems with the Bible.
Yeah, there's no smuggling because I think you're trying to anticipate that I'm saying, therefore Jesus, right? All we're doing is raising a probability case. So we could say,
Right.
yes, you'd expect to see Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So that raises the probability of his resurrection. And then you could bring counter evidence. You could say, well, there's contradictions between the two, so that lowers the
Yeah.
probability. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm saying you said there's no evidence. That's a different argument.
Okay, I got you. So evidence against is what I need to provide instead of just making the claim that there is a negative of evidence.
Saying that there's no evidence is not true. There is evidence. Now, whether that evidence is sufficient to convince you or sufficient to make it considered to be true, or whether or not there's counter evidence to show that it is false is a different argument. But it doesn't change the fact that there is evidence towards the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Gotcha. So,
just one sec.
Yep.
Caller, the carbon dating data was bunk. They dated a patch of cloth that was repaired around the date. It also has pollen on it from all the places the history dates it to, and the fiber was dated to the 1st century.
I have to take his word for it, but he's an honest guy.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. The one thing about the fibers, or not the fibers, the cloth itself that I've heard that kind of dissuades me from believing that it's a real piece of miraculous evidence is the fact that the weave that they used didn't exist back then. Like they didn't have the technology to do that 3-2-1 herringbone pattern or something like that. I don't know if you're aware of that claim.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We have this image that's permanently burnt into a cloth, and we can't figure it out or have any sense of it. But for some reason, we know that they didn't use those specific stitching styles, so therefore it's false. Feels like, putting the cart before the horse, right? You have this big piece of evidence that we can't explain, but we're going to throw it all out because we don't know how they did the stitching.
So you said it's burned in the image. Aren't the dimensions all wrong if it was burned into Jesus, if it was laying over his face?
I have no clue.
So like if you took a cloth now and laid it over your face, if your face was covered in paint, and then pulled the cloth off and laid it out, your ears would be way outside of the center line of your face because you've taken a 3-dimensional object and projected it onto a 2-dimensional surface, right?
That's the assuming that it was burnt in because his skin lit up, right? It could be burnt in because he left the body and went through the sheet. We have no idea the methodology.
Fair, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Now my question is the burnt in part. Why is this any different from just a stain?
Again, I don't know all aspects. I don't know all aspects of the Shroud of Turin. It's not the biggest thing that I focus at. All I'm saying is that we have this unrepeatable piece of data that is something you would expect to see, right? So therefore, we have a piece of evidence. It might not be a convincing piece of evidence, or even might be counter evidence towards it, but we still have a piece of evidence.
I see your logic. I got you. So the unconvincing part. It's obviously we're at a point to where this is convincing to you, but not convincing to me. Why is it that this is a total shift in the conversation? But why is it that belief is what hangs in the balance, but I haven't been convinced?
Yeah, I don't know about your individual mental state, right? So what I'm talking about here would be like a justified true belief. For someone to have a justified true belief, first they must have like a knowledge of that thing. You cannot believe something to be true if you don't know about it. Then you must also have a belief that that thing can be true in the first place. If you all believe that it always has to be false, you can never say that it's true. And then you have to have the justification, which would be some sort of like empirical data that confirms what you believe. So I'd say Christians have justified true belief. Whether you're convinced of it or not is irrelevant.
Right. So I'm one of those people who can't doesn't square the idea that one can choose their beliefs, and I also haven't been presented with evidence that does convince me thoroughly. So what am I supposed to do now? Do I just go to hell?
No, you don't go to hell for ignorance.
But in order to be a Christian, the Bible says that you must profess that Jesus is Lord with your mouth, right?
You could do that without believing it. You can follow and worship Jesus and not actually believe. But again, you don't go to hell for ignorance, right? If you simply just did not have a switch in your mind state to no fault of your own, God's not going to condemn you to hell.
How do you know that? Can you justify that claim like biblically or something?
Yeah, Jesus says that those who did not know will not be held responsible, but when they do know, there's no excuse for their sins. Paul says the Gentile who do not have the law unto themselves with their own conscience bearing witness against them.
What are those? I need to write those down.
I don't remember off the top of my head where it is, but if you look up Gospel of John, Jesus, there's no excuse for their sin, you'll find the verse. And I think Paul, the Gentiles who do not have the law or law unto themselves, I think it's in Romans.
Sure. Yeah, I can find those later. I spend a lot of time in the antithesis of this YouTube space. I watch like Justin and Mezzo and Joel and all of them. So obviously here I'm hearing some things I haven't heard before. I was a Christian for a long time, all of my life. I'm Bible Belt, just like the other dude that was here. But it just doesn't make sense anymore. It's the biggest problem for me. Like I don't know what to do about that. The more I read, the more I learn, the less sense it makes to me. It's just the contradictions, like you said. Say, for example, in the resurrection story, just leads me to believe that this is just some story that's been told over and over and over. And
there's no contradictions in the resurrection story. There are apparent contradictions. For a contradiction to actually be a contradiction, you need a proposition negation. Usually it's just a situation of silence. So it says 2 women went to the tomb and the other one says like 4 or 5 or whatever it is. That's not a contradiction because there is this thing like Craig Keener points out, it's like hero framing, right? You talk about the things that you think are important. So I could say to you today that I went to the store, but the truth is me and my wife went to the store. I'm not lying, right? I'm just saying I went to the store today and I picked up some milk and stuff like that. And then my wife tells you, yeah, me and my husband went to the store today. Those aren't contradictory terms. It's just hero framing.
Right. Contradiction is probably the wrong verbiage there. But wouldn't you admit that the magnitude of the omissions in certain gospels versus others make it a little more hard to believe?
No.
An earthquake, for example, was omitted from one. An angel was omitted from one. I mean, these are not small things. This is supernatural stuff in a supernatural story. And does John even affirm that Jesus rose? I'm not sure. Which one was the first gospel?
Yeah, so you're thinking of Mark, and there's a common misconception that people think that Mark doesn't talk about a post-resurrection. No, the end of Mark does have this like added in sense of like a post-resurrection appearance. And people like, if you take that out, then Jesus never, no, it ends with it saying Jesus resurrected. And then Mary went off and told Peter and the 12 about his resurrection. And that's where it ends because she ran off in fear. So it says it finishes with his resurrection.
Is this what they refer to as the long ending of Mark, or am I?
No, yeah, you're right. The long ending of Mark.
Yeah. So wasn't that added way later?
Yeah.
Why is that not a problem? This is supposed to be the immutable word of God, divinated through man. How can we have says the book, right?
Where does the book say that this is the immutable word of God?
I mean, not in those words exactly, but do you not believe that?
Where does it say in contextually?
I mean, I can't give you a verse, but I think it's pretty well understood that the Bible is the word of God, right?
Yeah, so just saying that that's what people think is not a convincing argument to me.
Well, sure, but the Bible definitely says don't change this word, right?
Well, the book of Revelation says that anyone who does change this word will be punished. And that was specifically the book of Revelation because there was a problem of people coming up with false revelations at the time because of Nero. So when we're looking at the book of Revelation, we have whoever the author is. I say it's John, but we have this author that's trying to preach against the prosecution of Nero and do it in a specific way and pass it out to people. And then it comes with this caveat of like a punishment. Hey, if you try to change this as we're sending this out to our populace, God will punish you.
Okay. Fair enough. So what do you do with the historic claims other than Jesus' resurrection? Resurrection claims other than Jesus, such as Nero you brought up.
Nero didn't resurrect. What are you talking about?
Caller, you admitted you're steeping in anti-Christian / debunking media. How can you know what you don't know if you never look past your you to read Can We Trust the Gospels? Peter J. Williams and then Gospels?
I don't think that's Shake because he's here talking to me. Right? He watches them and he's also here talking to me. That means he's getting both data points.
Yeah, I'm taking a very honest approach to this.
It seems.
But I appreciate I appreciate the comment anyways. Nero, they thought that he resurrected. That's why he was considered the Antichrist, right?
Not as far as I know. Maybe there is some sort of document I'm aware of. But yeah, Craig Keener notes there's about 80 different resurrection accounts out there. Sure.
What do we do with those? Why are those not?
Depends on which one, right? Most of the resurrection accounts that he pulls from are from a Christian worldview, and that was God resurrecting them. That's what you'd expect to see if God existed.
Wait, God resurrected other people?
Yeah, so for example, God, through Elijah, resurrected a young boy who passed away. That happened in the Old Testament. And then Jesus resurrected Lazarus and a young girl.
Right, yeah. Of course, yeah. That was a silly statement on my part.
No, it's fine.
Do these resurrections affirm God though? Like that's the whole point of bringing up the resurrection of Christ is to affirm that Christianity is the one true religion out of all of the others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it shows that Jesus had an authority over life and death, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
that brings up some other thoughts, but I won't go there yet.
Yeah, so somebody having the authority over life and death is not a small feat. That's the one thing humanity's been trying to conquer since the beginning.
Sure.
So that's something I would expect to see from a godlike figure.
Is it enough to... Okay, so what you're saying is all of the resurrections affirm God's power because you believe that God resurrected all of those people.
No, I didn't say that's the case. I haven't looked at all the accounts of each individual resurrection, right? It could simply be the fact that some are false, some are done through the power of God, some may not be like a full resurrection count. I have no idea, so I can't make a claim towards that. But what I'm saying is we have this figure, good historical data, good historical evidence to say that this figure has authority over life and death. Using the principle of charity, he claims to be the messianic figure that comes from the Old Testament. So I have good justification to say this is true. Now, may I be wrong and he's some sort of demon messing with me? Sure, that's a possibility, but I have no reason to believe it.
Gotcha. So, sorry, I get a thought and then you talk and I try to listen to you and it pushes things out of the way. You have way more mental RAM than I do. What... Jeez, man, I'm drawing a blank. If you need to move on, you can.
After you, I'm calling it a day. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, let me try to figure out this last point. Jesus conquered death, and doesn't it also say that he conquered sin?
Mm-hmm.
So why is there sin in the world?
Yeah, the sin has no power anymore. That's the point.
How would you define power in this sense?
Yeah, sin is what separated you from God. All people were separated from God until Jesus. When Jesus died on the cross, he took all the sacrifice upon himself. He even went to the people who were in Sheol at the time and gave them the gospel. So the sin has no power to separate you from God if you simply but trust in his sacrifice.
So then you would say any sin or death that still afflicts the world is through our separating ourselves from God.
Well, the sin in itself, it exists. It just has no power, right? So you could sin against God, but Jesus takes away the sins through his sacrifice on the cross. So this is a standard that's been since the beginning. If you want, like right into Cain and Abel, right? One of the things that they did is they brought their sacrifice to God, right? So Cain brought grains, Abel brought meat, or the other way around. I don't remember which one. And the one was appeasing to God, one was not appeasing to God. So one tried to give like just the bare minimum, and then one tried to give like things that were like important to God. There was always this idea of like, if you've done wrong, you sacrifice to God. We see this in the oldest text when it comes to Job. Job tried to pay for his family's sins through animal sacrifice. So sacrifice has always been the extent of having a relationship with God. You give up to make yourself right with God. You give up something and show that God is more valuable and more important. That's always been the standard. And so we had animal sacrifice forever. And then Jesus comes as the final sacrifice. So he comes to take away the sins of the world. So instead of going and offering up a lamb, we go to the church and we offer up the Eucharist. And so we offer up Christ there and we get our sins paid for. So the sin has no power anymore because we have Christ as a permanent sacrifice.
So then if Christ is the permanent sacrifice, then I don't need to sacrifice anymore?
No, you still do. You do it at church. So when you go to church and you participate in the Eucharist, you are offering up your sacrifice to God. But Jesus is the sacrifice.
But the Eucharist is the only sacrifice that I need to make?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
For all intents and purposes, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think that the modern, I don't want to say philosophy, but the way Christians typically believe is you sacrifice your flesh, you sacrifice your desires and all of these things to bring yourself closer to God, right?
Right. So
Why would I not? Why, if I follow that logic, then I should just sacrifice myself entirely and go be with God. Get what I'm saying?
well, no, because then that goes against what God has desired for you, and so therefore you're actually sinning against them, and you're not even offering up the sacrifice at that point for that sin. So that's a huge risk and a huge thing that you should not do. As for as for like the personal sacrifices, yeah, obviously, like I sacrifice my sin, right? The things that are desirable to me. Like, listen, man, I used to be an alcoholic. I still want to be an alcoholic. I love drinking. It's one of my favorite things in the world. But I know that's sinful, and I know I ought not do it, and I know by doing that I separate myself from God. So when I go take the Eucharist, not all Christians, but classical Christians have believed that that is the actual body and presence of Jesus Christ. So if I take that and I put that in me as a sinful person, I'm desecrating God. And so therefore I'm separating myself from him. And that is something that's supposed to make me clean. So I leave my sin behind. I try to make myself as holy as possible, even though I'm a human and I fall short. I go to the temple. I offer up a sacrifice, which is Christ Jesus. And just like traditionally, right, we eat the sacrifice, and this creates a unification between us and God, because we are temporal. We have a beginning. We must have an end. Jesus has no beginning and no end. And by consuming the flesh, it unifies us with his energies. And by unifying ourselves with his energies, we become holy, we become set apart, and we get eternal life, and our sin no longer has power.
Okay. So you said that if we take in the Eucharist while we're sinful, then we're desecrating God. But is that an accurate assessment?
To a certain extent, right? For it says in the scripture, for we're all under Christ Jesus and he is the head, and we should not participate in sexual immorality because we carry that. And by doing that, I forget the words, but the idea is we are desecrating God and we're desecrating the temple. I could find the verse if you want the direct quotation of it.
No, that's okay. I'm just trying to follow a logical chain here. If that's the case, then I would say that we're all sinful. That's what it teaches, and we do our best.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll leave that point behind. If we then it's not.
Well, let me touch on that point. That's why you go every week, because we're all sinful. So we sin, we repent, we turn, we go back to the temple, we offer up the sacrifice, we consume the sacrifice, and we're made anew again. And we keep doing this every week because we are all sinners and we'll all fall short of the glory of God. If it was the case that you did it once and then you remained unsinful, then you just keep going. That you just do it once, you'd be done.
Okay, I see. So in that case, that kind of affirms my second point, that it sounds like works are what gets us where we need to go.
Mm.
If you would say that the act of sanctifying ourselves is a work, right? Would you agree with that?
No. So here's what I'd say. There's this big argument about like works-based salvation and non-works-based. The earliest Christians that have ever existed say that you cannot enter heaven based off your works. The ecumenical councils say it's a heresy to enter heaven based off your works. There's this misconception between like Protestant Christians and Apostolic Christians where they beef about that because they conflate what work is. So I'd ask it in this question. For me to have a relationship with my father, my actual father, ontological father, not heavenly father. But anyways, my biological father, sorry. Would you say that would entail maybe phone call every now and then, sitting down, having supper, asking how his day is, doing things that you'd expect to see in a relationship? I'm going to assume you're going to say yes to that, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, I would expect to hear back.
Right. Would you consider those things works? I wouldn't consider them works. I consider them just having a relationship with somebody.
I think I would consider those works, though, because I have to put down things that I may find significant, maybe not more significant, but I have to prioritize things to have this relationship, right? I can't just it's not without effort. It's not without effort or sacrifice that I would do that.
Fair. I understand what you're saying, but I would never say to my wife that me sitting down having dinner with her every night is a work.
I don't give a negative connotation to work. I think that the works are noble. I mean, as long as your heart posture, to use some Christianese behind it, is in the right place, then works are great. Like I would consider.
Yeah, I'm not saying
let's look at like the
we're talking about like a works-based salvation though. That's different. I'm not saying works are bad. Works are good. We're talking about whether or not you have to work yourself into heaven. I wouldn't classify this as a work, right? I wouldn't say me having dinner with my wife is a work, right? And if that's the case, then literally almost anything I do would be classified as a work because it's me doing X to achieve Y, which is most of human existence. Me drinking water is a work, right? Me getting up and doing like just a quick little back and forth stretch is a work, right? Like I'd say it'd fall into the category of almost everything is a work at that point.
Gotcha. So where do you stand on the works don't get you in heaven?
On that, like it's not a work, right? Me participating in the things that God has given me to have a relationship is not a work. It's me having a relationship.
Okay. So the relationship part, you use the analogy of like calling my father, right? And of course my response to that is I expect to hear something back. This goes to the divine hiddenness thing. Do you hear God like verbally, or do you just like look for signs and say, hey, that must be God?
There's a TV show called The House of David, which I think is a really good TV show. And I think, sorry, what's the prophet's name again? Samuel. I think Samuel actually contextualized it very well, what it's like to communicate with God. There's only been 2 or 3 times in my life that I would say I heard God's voice, but it's not like a speaking from the heavens. The way Samuel represented it in the show, he's like, because he asked him, he's like, what's it like when God communicates you? And he's like, as if truth fills my throat, right? There's just something that it's like you don't know and then you know, and then it's like being lit on fire, but you're not feeling any pain. It's like trying to explain the color red to somebody who's never seen the color red. It's impossible to do, right? And we try to conceptualize it so much that people have misbelieved that experience of the Holy Spirit is just the goosebumps you feel when people are singing at a concert, right? That's not the case. This is like completely different. But yes, I would say I've heard God's voice. No, I don't hear it all the time, right? To the point where like I've been in situations in my life where I say, why is he not talking to me anymore?
Who gave that analogy? It's like truth filling your throat.
It was from a TV show called House of David, where they're doing, yeah. I thought it's made by Christians, and I think they represented it really well.
I've felt that's a excellent analogy. I've felt exactly that feeling. I draw. Like my memory goes straight back to that moment whenever you describe it that way. It's really funny. I would consider myself someone who's felt and heard and the word of God before.
Mm-hmm. I might have. Yeah, sure.
I mean, if it's anything like what you're describing, then absolutely. It was a conviction, though. It was really powerful. And like you said, it's hard to describe. But it was undeniably something big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. The only thing I'd say that separates mine and yours is, again, mine, I literally felt like there was flames flying out of my body, like fire that did not cause any pain. Yeah. But that's the only difference. But yeah, I'd say it's.
Yeah. It felt like God reached down from heaven and poked me right in the heart. Like it brought me to tears. It was really powerful. But then, of course, someone like me can just go, yeah, like you felt convicted, dude. Like you got emotional about something significant to you. Mm-hmm. Our emotions are powerful. Of course, I'm rationalizing this as something other than divine because I don't believe in divine. Sure. So on your end, then you would always bias towards a divine explanation for this thing.
No, I was atheist for 30 years.
Well, not always. I didn't know that, by the way. That's pretty cool. We're basically the opposite.
Yeah. No, I've had those conversations where like, is it all in my head? Is it something that I've made up? I even went and saw a doctor. Like, is it something that's just like a psycho experience? No, it's something that I cannot explain. It's something I cannot repeat. It's something that I don't experience on a constant basis. The best explanation towards all the data is that this is the Christian God, because that is where it is led. That is what is followed. And that's what you'd expect to see if the Christian God existed. Now, simply feeling God's presence doesn't necessarily mean you're going to participate it always and forever. Balaam spoke directly to God, verbatim words, saw him, and he still rejected him.
Yeah.
Judas did the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the what do we call them? Non-combative versus combative non-believers. That's some combative non-belief. But what do you do about
I'd say
all the people?
They believed in God.
Oh, they believe. Well, yeah, of course they have to believe at that point. That's a whole different topic. What do you do with the fact that people from all over the world who believe all sorts of other spiritual beliefs have the same sensations that they describe?
Do they?
Say like the NDE thing.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I've talked to thousands of Muslims, and I'll never forget a conversation I had with a Muslim a long time ago who said, we were talking about these miraculous things, and it's not something that Muslims experience. To the point where he said his only explanation for why Christians actually experience these things, because he's had so many conversations with Christians who experience these things, is he thinks Satan is doing these things to us. So he's like, Muslims don't experience this. We don't see this. We don't go through this. Yet I see so many Christians who claim it. That the only explanation, Satan is doing it to. Shaitan is what they say.
That's so silly. But I'm coming at this from not believing any of it, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously that sounds ridiculous to me. The Muslims claim there, but of course people do experience these things in other religions. You can look up testimony from people who believe in Vishnu or whatever, who say that they saw divine. I mean, of course, quick Google search is going to get you there.
Well, what I'm saying is I've had people tell me this for years, and I've never seen it. I've seen vague references or things with people talking about like, okay, they had a feeling or whatever. Sure, that's fine. I'm not using my feeling as a piece of evidence, but we don't have anything of like somebody being prayed over and then walking in the name of Vishnu.
I would argue that we don't have that for Christianity either. Can you show me that?
Yeah, it's well, not off the top of my head, no. But there is like, for example, there's a recording. This is on, again, quick Google search and you'll find this one. There's a gentleman who was a pastor who lost his voice. He was told he was never going to get it back. And then he went to give a sermon. So his voice not, he's like this, you can barely talk, right? And I'm not trying to make fun of him, but I'm just emphasizing what's happening. Yeah. So he goes to give a sermon about trusting in God, even through the hardships. As he's giving that sermon, his voice just returns. And nobody explains it. You also have Marlene Kleeps, who's got multiple sclerosis, is bedridden. All of a sudden, she hears a thundering voice from heaven as a Christian saying, get up and walk. And then her multiple sclerosis just vanishes and nobody has an explanation for it. As a matter of fact, I'd point you to Than from Inspiring Philosophy. He's actually doing a lot of study right now into these miraculous things that have come up. These are peer reviewed, right? You also have Bruce Van Natta, who was crushed by a 2-ton truck. Had his intestines destroyed. He was prayed over, felt a jolt of electricity, and his intestines grew back. Again, peer reviewed. The data is out there.
That's insane. I have to look that up. Wow. If that's true, I believe tomorrow.
the one that's my favorite right now, Than actually talked to the guy directly, and it's on video evidence. This is my favorite. This guy was losing his vision, right? They have all the medical records. Than has the medical record. I asked him to give it to me. He said he can't because he doesn't have permission from the guy yet. And I've been waiting for him to get the permission because I want to see the medical records myself. He has the medical records of this guy. And this guy is losing his vision. He's told he's going to go blind. He can barely see. This man goes and gets baptized. You can see it on film. He posted it himself. He goes and gets baptized. He's dunked in the water. He comes out and he could just see. You could see the shock in his face because he's like, I can see the faces. I can see people. Like, he's shocked. It's crazy, man. Like, go watch that one. And then he has his own testimonium of it as well. So we have a record of him losing his vision and then getting his vision back right after being baptized. Yeah. Explain that one to me.
See, yeah, I don't know, man. You gave me a bunch of examples. The one that's most compelling for me is the guy who regrew his intestines. That's pretty wild.
Bruce Van Natta.
Bruce Van Adden?
Bruce Van Natta.
Natta.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm going to look Bruce Van Natta. I'm going to look that one up for sure.
Yeah.
If I go and look this up and it's just irrefutable, there's no way that I can explain this. It actually happened. And then I begin to believe in God again. How, like, that's not faith anymore, right? Is that not a problem?
No.
Isn't one of the big arguments that God gave us free will so that we could choose. Doesn't that violate my free will to choose if there's actual evidence that I can look at and be?
Faith is trusting in the promise that God has given you, not his existence. That would make zero sense because Jesus walked with his apostles and kept telling them to have faith in him as he's performing miracles. Well, let me stop the storm. Let me raise this person from the dead. And they go, whoa, should we follow you? And he's like, keep having faith in me. You have a little faith, right? They had head knowledge. Head knowledge is not about faith. Faith is about a trust.
This is the faith versus belief distinction. Okay.
Yeah. With that being said, bro, you're really nice. I gotta go because
oh, you're good, man.
Yeah. So it's the end of the live, but I appreciate you, man. Again, Inspiring Philosophy. If you go, he's got videos on it. It's Than's work on it, on the miracles, and he goes into the data. And even if you email Than, he would probably talk to you about it. He's more familiar with on those cases than I am. It's not really something I've really deep dived into, but I really trust the man. He's not going to say things that he doesn't think are convincing. He's a very smart guy. So
sure.
go message him and talk to them.
I believe you're all very ingenuous, if that's the right word. You guys, I know you're not lying to me. I know you're not making shit up just to convince people or whatever.
No.
But yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. If I have any, if I come up with any other arguments, I'll give you a shout.
All right, man. God bless.
Take it easy, buddy.
Those are the conversations we're seeking, guys. All right, folks. That is not the right button. There we go. Our Father is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the good conversations. Thank you for drawing in the people who actually need to and want to and desire to learn about you and learn who you are. You are good in providing that. I ask that you just give the knowledge to the people who seek it, especially the last gentleman we were speaking to. Lord, it seems like he has an open heart for it. So it seems like he just needs your help on the convincing aspect. So I ask that you do that, but you know all things. If we're wrong on what we do, correct us. If we're right, keep us on the right path. But those come against us or wrong, correct them. Forgive us of our sins and continue to walk with us. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God is good. We are not. All right, folks, you know what to do. Follow me on YouTube at Big John Steele. Follow me on all platforms. Follow me here if you're watching on TikTok. And if you want to support the channel, want to help it keep growing, at bigjohnsteele.com. If you want to help me buy some stuff for the studio, you can do so in the wish list gift down below. We're just grifting up in here. We're just doing this for...
Toss a coin to your grifter.
That's the only reason we do it. We don't actually believe what we're saying. Yeah, so exclusive content, Big John Steele. For example, we just put out an 18-minute video on YouTube recently. If you want to watch the full 4-hour reaction to that video, you can do so on the website. Multiple packages that are offered to you. It's ultimately just to help us keep moving into the next steps and growing. We're trying to get that private jet because we don't want to share planes with you demons. That being said, guys, I'm not going to do a hangout because I went longer than I expected with that last conversation, but I think it was important. So I appreciate you all. We will see you all tomorrow. We're going to do some reaction content, some members type content. God bless you guys. Have yourselves a great day. And yeah, we'll see you all next time.